Gillette presents the World Series. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in the broadcasting booth at Brooklyn's Ebbets Field with a packed house waiting game number 4 in this spectacular series between the Yankees and Brooklyn's own Dodgers for the baseball championship of the world. This is a key broadcast in the cavalcade of sports sponsored by the Gillette Safety Razor Company, World Shaving Headquarters, your radio host of the Sugar Bowl football game in New Orleans, the Orange Bowl game in Miami, the East-West All-Star game from San Francisco, the Kentucky Derby, all the major boxing bouts, and other top sports events. The World Series is brought you through the combined facilities of the Mutual Broadcasting System, affiliated stations, and the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Spanning the entire North American continent, with shortwave reaching the rest of the world. This is Bob Elson with my Gillette colleagues, Red Barber and Bill Coram of the New York Journal American. By the way, we're all set for plenty of action here at Ebbets Field this afternoon. Well, I know that you're primarily interested in the starting pitchers, and they have just come out to warm up. Atlee Donald, the right-hander, is going to pitch for New York, and Kirby Higbee, the old fireballer, is going to pitch this afternoon for the Brooklyn Dodgers. I think the most important news today is that Billy Herman is not going to play. Billy Herman, you know, yesterday went out of the ball game with a strained muscle in his left side and is not going to play today. In his place, Koskarite will be at second base. We're happy to say, and I think that you'd all like to know now, that Freddie Fitzsimmons was not seriously injured. In fact, he is here in uniform today, but there's very, very little chance that we'll see any more of Fitz in this series. Fitz was severely bruised, but there was no fracture, and he is out here in uniform today. Now, something about these pitchers. Atlee Donald, a right-hander, was born at Morton, Mississippi on September the 19th, 1912. He's in a farming environment, and Atlee still is an agriculturist. He has a cotton and melon plantation down in Louisiana and really works at it. Donald broke in with the Yankees in 1939. He marked his freshman season with an astonishing feat. He took 12 ball games in a row. With Newark in 1938, he'd won 16 and lost 7 with 138 strikeouts. Donald suffered a back injury last spring at St. Petersburg, but he overcame this in time to play an important role in the winning of the American League pennant. His opponent this afternoon, Kirby Higbee, winner of 22 ball games, was born April the 8th, 1915 at Columbia, South Carolina. Give me the ball and I'll get him out, is the favorite saying of the Carolina fireballer, who the past year was the workhorse of the Dodgers. His mate Sloan will remember the third Western trip when he climbed out of a hospital bed after an attack of appendicitis and then appeared in the game or bullpen on every playing day on the tour. He predicted all season that he'd win 20 games and was the first in the league to reach that total. Well, the weatherman has come through with a perfect day today. Everybody out here in the East has been pounding old man Fate for what he did to Fitz yesterday, but the weatherman is getting a rousing vote of thanks because he certainly has come through in marvelous fashion after that rainy day. Today here in Brooklyn, the thermometer is around 86. It's bright and sunshiny. In other words, it's really a perfect day. Now the lineups. For the Yankees, these are the probable starting lineups. Sturm, S-T-U-R-M at first. Ruff at third. Henrik in right field. DiMaggio, center field. Keller, left field. Dickey, catching. Gordon, second. Rizzuto, short. And Donald, who has won 9 and lost 5, took part in 10 complete ball games as the pitcher. For Brooklyn, leading off, Reese at short. Walker, right field. Reeser, center field. Camelli, first base. Riggs is going to play third today in place of Lavagetto. Lou Riggs will be at third. Medwick will bat sixth and play left field. Owen, the catcher, Koskarite, will play second in place of Herman and will bat eighth. And then the pitcher, Kirby Higbee, whose record this year was 22 and 9. He appeared in 19 complete ball games, and he pitched 2 shutouts. So, fans, that's the setup here on this perfect day in Brooklyn as we await the 4th game of this 1941 World Series, and I believe we're all agreed it's one of the greatest series that we've ever seen. So far, there's been 3 ball games, each decided by 1 run. And as to which team of these 2 is the best in the series, well, the jury's still out. There's been 3 ball games, and they've all been won by 1 run. So it's pretty hard to pick the best team in that kind of a series. Anyway, that's the picture right up to now. There's nobody on the field. They're getting the diamond all in shape. Pitchers are right down here in front of us, Atlee Donald and Kirby Higbee. And now it's my pleasure to bring in our co-worker, Bill Coram, who I'm sure has an interesting word for you today. Come in, Bill.
Thank you, Bob. We've got a color guard out here in front of us now with this big official band. It looks like a nightclub band, sort of, and it's tan coats and it's black trousers. A squad of sailors with the flag marching in toward the infield. The stands are almost filled. As you told the folks, it's another ideal baseball day with a high sky and high hopes on both sides, although we all realize, and the Brooklyn team realizes, that it has its back to the wall in this ball game with Billy Herman out of there. He was the steady man of the infield, the fellow that picked up Little Reese, but I might say that the little colonel is quite a boy out there himself, and he's been taking charge, hooping and hollering. Freddie Fitzsimmons down on the bench, still having to have hot packs put on his knee as Mr. Baseball here in New York still, and why shouldn't he be today after that game? And then his middle name is Landis, so that sort of makes him Mr. Baseball anyhow. He couldn't have a better middle name than that. Marius Russo is just talking to down there, the marvelous game he pitched. And that's Mr. McCarthy, the gentleman from Buffalo, and the wonder manager of the Yankees, who almost never loses, thinks was the World Series. As we'd say out home in the Missouri River bottoms, Russo sort of took the rag off the flatbush with that one. And Mac thinks that it meant the series to him. And, of course, with Cascarot in there, not that Pete isn't a great little ball player, but it isn't Brooklyn's full strength. I would say about Herman's injury that it's sort of as if he'd slipped a rib. And I really doubt that he's going to have an opportunity to play in the series at all, and I'm sure Freddie won't. Now, Miss Lucy Monroe is just walking out to the microphone at home plate, talking out there to the band leader, and one moment you're going to hear the national anthem. While we're waiting, however, these two pitchers are warming up. Atlee Donald right here in front of me. He's the fella that practically got off a farm truck and went to Joe McCarthy, said, look here, I'm going to be a Yankee pitcher. Now, lots of fellas try to do that, but very few succeed. But that's what happened to Donald. They sent him over to Newark for a while, but he was a success over there, and now he's come to be a Yankee mainstay. And, of course, Marsh Joe has really got plenty of pitching, not perhaps the great pitching that they had at one time when Ruffing was younger and Gomez was younger, but still they're good pitchers, and he's got a lot of it, and not the least of them, this fella Atlee Donald, the farm boy that just got down off the truck and came and said, Mr. McCarthy, I'm going to be a pitcher with the Yankees, and turned out to be one. You know about Kirby Higbee, most of you fans. He's what's known as a strong-arm pitcher in baseball. He's a fellow that blazes it through there. There seemed to be a question about Higbee with the Yankees. I've got a lot of confidence in him. A fellow that can win 20 ball games, well, he's a pretty good pitcher in my book, and I see no reason why he shouldn't pitch a good game here, even though the Brooklyn team does have to go in without quite full strength. Here comes Miss Monroe, and I'm just watching so that I won't interrupt here. Casey was... Here's the announcement.
Monroe of the RCA Victor Company will sing the national anthem. He will be accompanied by Carlos Santos and his band. The color card is from the USS Seattle. Miss Monroe.
I'd be most happy if everybody here in the ballpark, as well as everyone listening in on the air, would join in and sing with me.
thing, isn't it, that we're all learning to sing that song in this country now. Now, I haven't much more time, but I would like to say that Casey told Red Barber yesterday the reason he didn't cover first on that play was that he saw the ball go back a milli and figured it was a hit and stopped after he'd started. And now I'm going to turn you back to my very, very good friend, Bob Elson.
Thank you very much, Bill. Now, friends, in just a second, we'll give you the official lineup again for today's game. You know, it sure is a big moment for Brooklyn, and you men everywhere will chalk this up as a red-letter day if you take advantage of Gillette's special World Series combination offer. Because, fans, you get a regular 25-cent tube of Gillette shaving cream, lather or brushless, absolutely free with the purchase of 10 Gillette Blue Blades. Yes, sir, I mean just that. The shaving cream is an out-and-out gift. You pay only 49 cents, the price of the blades alone. And remember, these are today's vastly improved Gillette Blue Blades. By all odds, the easiest shaving blades ever produced. The steel is diamond tested, so hard it actually cuts glass. What's more, the edges are absolutely the sharpest you've ever used. No wonder these blades outperform and outlast other blades better than 2 to 1. Now, fans, let me urge you in all sincerity to make the most of this opportunity. Stock up while you've got the chance. This offer is limited. The supply can't last long. So make it a point to see your dealer today. Take your choice of either the lather or brushless cream free with 10 Gillette Blue Blades for only 49 cents. Well, the umpires have just come out. At the plate today will be Getz of the National League. At third base will be Bill Grieve of the American League. At second will be Babe Pinelli of the National League. And at first base will be Bill McGowan of the American League. We don't anticipate any changes in the lineups because the lineups I gave you were already called down to us from the press box. The two notable changes today are that Riggs will play third for Brooklyn in place of Lavagetto, in that Coscarart will play second in place of Billy Herman. Outside of that, with the natural exceptions of the pitchers, the lineups are the same as we have seen them in the other games. Now, for just one last second, the boys are up there dragging the infield to be sure it's real smooth, getting it all set. It's a perfect day. The stage is all set for the number 4 game of this exciting World Series, the 4th game being played here at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. And so now I'm going to turn our mutual microphone over to my co-worker here in the World Series, Red Barber, the crack baseball reporter of station WOR, who's all set to give you his thrilling account of the first half of this ball game today. All right, Red, come in.
Thank you, Bob. Good afternoon, everybody. Kirby Higbee, who will have to start a half an inning sooner than Atlee Donald, is really pouring in the last of his warm-up pitches right now. And he is not stopping at all for the conference between the umpires and the two coaches, Fletcher of the Yankees and Dresden of the Dodgers. And now that conference is breaking up. After playing here yesterday, of course, they have very little to go over today in the way of ground rules to refresh themselves and to be all straight. And Higbee continues throwing right to the last moment, and it is apparent now that he will throw until he turns to go to the mound to start the game and will not go back into the dugout. The announcements are still being checked over the public address system, and just as Bob gave you. Johnny Sturm has selected his bat and is standing over at one end of the Yankee dugout, waiting to be the first hitter, but the Dodgers have yet to take the field. And now each team is sending down its bullpen squad. For Brooklyn, Casey and Allen, right-handers, and French, a left-hander, have gone down to the Brooklyn bullpen, and sitting in the front of the Yankee dugout, waiting to go down into the bullpen, are 3 right-handers, Brewer, Murphy, and Branch. It was Brewer and Branch who were working the bullpen yesterday. And the Dodgers go out to take the field. We'll set the Brooklyn club for you. And there is the Yankee bullpen contingent going down now into the left field corner. Kirby Higbee on the mound. Won 22 games and lost 9 in the pennant race. Kid from Columbia, South Carolina, 26 years old, 5'11", and 185 pounds. Mickey Owen, back of the plate. The first base is Dolph Camilli at second base. And it is indeed a large pair of shoes that he is being asked to step into and walk away with. Pete Coscarart, Billy Herman out. Herman yesterday pulled something between his ribs in his left side, and it was very painful, a very painful and muscular hurt. It hurt him so that he could hardly get his breath, much less move around. And in addition to those other Yankee pitchers I told you going down to the bullpen, there is a 4th going down, Steve Peek. So the Yankees have 4 men in the bullpen, and the Dodgers have 3. And now the Dodgers are sending down a 4th pitcher into the bullpen. correction on that. It is a third catcher. So the bullpens are pretty well populated. So it's Cosgrove at second base, filling in for Billy Herman, and it's doubtful that Herman will get in for a couple of days. I imagine that Herman is one fellow right now who wishes it would rain for 2 or 3 days, give him a chance to get some rest. However, there's no sign of rain with the weather like it is today. Reese is at shortstop, and Riggs goes to third base. Get a left-hand batter in against this right-handed starting pitcher, Donald, for the Yankees. And also Lavagetto's only had one hit an infield single so far in 3 games. Medvick is in left field, and in center, Pete Reeser. Right, Dixie Walker. Johnny Sturm standing to one side. He has 3 hits for 12 at-bats so far in the World Series. It's a brilliant, hot, sunshiny afternoon, and Kirby Higbee is waiting for Sturm to step in. The outfield is straight away on Sturm. He hits pretty much to all fields. Riggs is in close by third. Here's the first pitch of the game. It's a high fastball for ball 1. Larry Getz of the National League is back at the plate calling balls and strikes. Bill McGowan of the American League is first. Dave Pinelli of the National League is second, and third is Bill Grieve of the American League staff. Art Fletcher is the third base coach for the Yankees, and Earl Combs back at first. Sturm runs up and takes a pitch that is through there, a sharp curve for a called strike, 1-1. And Kirby Higbee is more than anxious to be in this ball game. He was held out of the last important series when Brooklyn went into St. Louis, and he didn't pitch down there. And so far he's been held out of the World Series, and here he is on the mound. He's 1-1 with the first batter. Higbee throws, the fastball is swung on and missed for strike 2. 1-2. First man up, no score. The outfielders keep checking the sky after every pitch. It is a bright, brilliant blue, the kind of sky that hurts you to look up at it. Higbee throws, the curve swung on, line right back of second base. There's Reese up with it. The throw is in time by a step. And Reese goes back of second base to take Sturm's bid for a hit away from him. And it's the shortstop directly behind second. Moving over nimbly, coming up with it and throwing to Camilli, and Sturm is out. And so the ball game commences. 1 up and 1 out. And Red Rolfe, who has 4 hits for 12 official at-bats, left-hand batter, stepping in. Reese comes up almost to the inside grass by third. Cosgrove at second. There's a step over toward first base. The outfield is straight away. Higbee throws. Strike. Ball. Nothing in 1. Just buzzed that one right in there. Bill Corum told you Higbee is a strong-armed pitcher. He just rears back and pops him down. Now he shakes no. Dodge, yes. Pumps twice. Throws. Fastball, which is hit into left field for a clean base hit. Rolfe hustles down to first base, and after taking his turn, holds on as Medvick throws towards second and reaches the shortstop. Goes out to the edge of the left field grass and cuts it off. And Higbee, after shaking off Owens, came down with a fastball that was belted on a line into left field, and that is the 5th base hit for Red Rolfe so far in this series. He now has more hits than any other Yankee. He has more hits than any other player in the series. Now there's a runner at first, Red Rolfe. Tommy Henrik is up there, left-hand batter, who has 2 hits for 11 try. Outfield deep toward right. Henrik takes a high fastball for ball 1. 1-0. Outfield pulled around toward right. There's a bit of a breeze which is blowing out toward right field generally, but not enough wind to make a great deal of difference. Infield up a step. Higbee in position, throws. Henrik takes high for ball 2. Now Tommy cuts his eyes down at Art Fletcher, the third base coach. Takes a flash, as the ball players say, to see if there's a sign on. Henrik up there. DiMaggio kneeling on his right knee out on deck. 1 man out, no score. Top of the first inning. The pitch is a slow curve that is in for a call, strike 1. And Higbee pulled the string with a breaking ball and threw it over. Henrik, after bluffing all around the plate as though he was going to bunt, then just pulled his bat back and took it for a called strike. 2-1. Camilli holding first base against the runner. Kirby throws. There goes Rolfe. Henrik swings as a fly ball into left. Medvick is waiting for it, thumping his glove. The left fielder takes it. The throw is to second base and reached the shortstop again. Interception. Cuts it off. And with a hit and run on, Rolfe went down to second and then came back as Henrik fired out to left fielder Medvick. Now there is a tumultuous noise that goes rolling and re-echoing through these double-deck stands as DiMaggio steps in. The outfield is deep and well around toward left. The left side of the infield is way back, and shortstop Reese is 2/3 of the way over toward third. Cosgrove at second is almost over directly behind the bag. And Cavilli holds the bag against Rolfe. A curve is high and inside at 3/4 speed for ball one. Right-handed pitcher, Kirby Higbee, HRGPE. And a right-hand batter, Joe DiMaggio, standing up there in that flat-footed stance, feet wide apart. Brings that stick way back. Swings, and there's a high foul ball. It's coming down deep behind right field and lands untouched in the right field bullpen. And second baseman Cosgrove was the man who was closest to it, and he was 15 steps away. As we told you, the outfield was pulled well around toward left field, where right fielder Dixie Walker was practically almost over to center field. He had no chance at all on a high foul ball out alongside the right field line, about 10 feet foul. Now there's 1 ball and 1 strike. DiMaggio standing back, rubbing his hands dry, going for dirt. Now steps in and sets himself. Slightly open stance. Rolfe again leading off first. 2 out, no score, top of the first. Higbee slowed down on a pitch just under the hand. Ball 2. DiMaggio took 1 hitch, took 2 hitches, and then says, "Oh, I don't want it." Took it for ball 2. 2-1. Let-up ball. Higbee in position with a runner on it back of him. Delivers. DiMaggio takes a low curve for ball 3. 3-1. Pass low outside curve. That ball is called for by plate umpire Larry Getz and inspected. It's found to be all right, not marked or roughed. 3 balls, 1 strike. The Yankees may have the run and hit off. Let's see. Rob dances off first and draws a throw. Slides back in under Cavilli's tag safely. 3-1. DiMaggio waiting. Rolfe holds as the pitch is high inside for ball 4. Rolfe was not running, and DiMaggio has walked. The Yankees now have men at first and second. Rolfe moving to second base. He got on with a single, the only hit of the game, and DiMaggio with a walk. He's on at first. No activity. Either left the bullpen. Here's Charlie Keller stepping in. Keller, who has 3 hits for 10 at-bats. DiMaggio, who was just up there and is at first, has 2 hits for 11 official at-bats. Keller stepping in. He's the Yankee strong boy. Chokes that stick just about an inch. Crowds that plate from behind for a left-hand batter. He's very stocky and powerful. Takes a high outside fastball for ball 1. 1-0. Rizzo was a few steps over toward right center, but in response to a sign from the Brooklyn bench, he moves back to where he's almost in straightaway center. Higbee throws a curve that is high and outside, thrown by a right-hander to a left-hand batter, one that did not come down and in. Ball 2. And the breeze is a little more brisk as it blows out toward right field, which, as you know, is the short field at Brooklyn. 297 feet along the line, but there is a 39-foot wall and screen in back of right field. Now the runners off first and second, ready to go on anything. Higbee comes down 2-0, and in there for a strike. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mickey Owen settling down in his rocking chair, back at the plate, pumping the sign. Now comes halfway up. Higbee pitches 2-1. The fastball, which is hit wide of first and through in the right field for a base hit. There is Rolfe coming around third to score. Walker's throw goes to third base, but not in time. DiMaggio reaches there standing up as Keller singles sharply through the hole between first and second into right field. Hit it right on the nose. And the Yankees go ahead 1-0. And this is the first time that either team has scored a run in the first inning of a World Series game this year. And Joe McCarthy has come tearing out of the Yankees dugout and is having a bit of a conference to Larry Getz, the plate umpire. And whatever Joe says, we can't figure out, but at any rate, Getz turns around and says very vehemently and points to himself that whatever the decision is, that he would give it. Solid base hit for Charlie Keller. His 3rd hit of the series, and the Yankees go ahead 1-0. That's the first run scored in any first inning for either team in so far this World Series. Now DiMaggio's at third, Keller at first, Bill Dickey up. Swings and misses at a fastball inside, practically on his hands. 0-1. These 2 hits here in the first inning have both been sharp. Outfield, straight away on Dickey. Tall catcher leans over the plate and then leans away from a pitch that's inside, waist high. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Higbee rubs the fingers of his right hand across the front of his uniform. A single, a walk, with 2 out, a single by Keller. And the Yankees lead 1-0. Dickey takes a curve low inside, just above the knees. Ball 2. 2-1. Higbee turns, walks off the mound, goes to the rosin bag, stands there. No activity in the Brooklyn bullpen. Dickey steps out of the box, gets tired of waiting. DiMaggio leading down off third. He can really lope around those bases. On that single into right field, he reached third base standing up. Didn't have to slide. Dickey swings, breaks his bat, hits a line drive at Cosgrove, traps, and throws to first base in time for the out. Cosgrove trapped the ball and had to make the play at first. Dickey broke his bat. There it snapped. And the out was accomplished. Second baseman to the first baseman for the Yankees in the top of the first inning. It is 1 run, 2 hits. 2 men were left. No Brooklyn errors. When the Yankees come back in a second, it'll be the third of their hitting list of 9. Gordon, Rizzuto, and Abley Donald. At the moment, Donald is walking out to the mound. He's tall, 6 feet, 185 pounds, and has very long arms, and has a tremendously complete follow-through. He's very loose, and when he is snapping off his pitches, he makes a complete turn out there on the mound, and when he finishes his follow-through, his pitching hand, his right hand, is practically down on the ground. For Brooklyn, Reese will be first up, followed by Walker, and then by Reza. It's a magnificent afternoon from the weather standpoint. The temperature is in the high 80s, and the humidity is 50%. And the sun is bright, and as the ball players say, there is not an angel in the sky, meaning a cloud. When the players look up on pop flies and fly balls, they're looking into nothing but bright blue. For the Yankees, it is Donald limbering up, throwing down to Buddy Rozar. Now Rozar surrenders the mitt to Dickey. Dickey making the last out. Top of the first inning, had to go back, put on the catching tools. The mask, chest protecting the shin guards. And now Dickey is receiving the rest of the preliminary pitches thrown by Donald. The infield is Sturm at first. Gordon at second. Rizzuto at short. Ralph at third. In left field is Charlie Keller, who drove in the Yankees 1 run as they lead 1-0. Center field is DiMaggio. And in right field is Tommy Henry. Reese, who has 4 for 12. Stepping in to be the first batter, last half of the first inning. Charlie Dresden is the Brooklyn third base coach. And the MGR himself, Leo DeRocha, back at first. There's Donald, tall right-hander. Throws overhand a fastball that is fouled up halfway to first base. Dickey goes down, and the catcher grabs it. Either Dickey or Sturm could have made the catch, but Dickey was under a full head of steam, and Sturm got out of the way. But Sturm took a look up at that foul ball, and after Dickey made the catch, Sturm sort of shook his head as if to say, it's tough looking up above. And Reese going after the first pitch, fouls out to catch Bill Dickey. 1 up, 1 pitch made by Donald, 1 out. Last the first inning, 1-0. Favor the Yankees. Dixie Walker, who has 1 hit for 10 at-bats. Standing to one side, knocking the dirt out from under his spikes. Now steps in, tall, willowy, loose left-handed batter. Bill Dickey down to give the sign. The Yankee outfield toward right. There's a high outside fastball, ball 1. Donald, 1-9. Lost 5 this last year. There he is, a full sweeping stretch up overhead. Delivers. Pulls a fastball through there for a called strike. 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dixie standing right in the middle of the batter's box. Donald works. Fred bunts down toward third base. Donald off the mound. Picks it up. The throw to first base is in time by a half step. And Walker is thrown out. The pitcher to the first baseman. Push to bunt, midway between the mound and third. Donald could get there a step ahead of Rolfe, and that step difference made the play. And Walker's out. Pitcher to the first baseman. Pete Reza, who has 1 for 11, steps in. Donald looks around, checking the Yankee defense in back of it. Gordon is deep at second base. The outfield around toward right. Reza takes a high curve just under the shoulders for a call strike. 0-1. Donald ready. When he goes down, Scott is pumping. He almost touches the ground. Straights up, throws. Reza swings and misses at a high inside fastball that really had something on it. High strike two. It's 1-0 favor the Yankees. 2 out for Brooklyn. Nobody on. Last first inning. This is game number 4. The 1941 World Series. Now stand 2 games for the Yankees. 1 for the Dodgers. Left side of the infield up halfway. Reza's fast. Pete swings and there's a foul. Back up third and into the stands. Upper deck. 0-2. Everything sort of quiet for the moment as Donald walks around back of the mound, rubbing up the ball that's just been put in play. Dickey goes down. Here's Crouch to give the sign. Right umpire gets working off the catcher's right shoulder into the crack between the catcher and the left-hand batter. There's Donald pumping. Throws high for ball 1. Sort of wasted a fastball up there to see if Reza would go after it. He didn't. 1-2. And the wind is now blowing rather steadily, but not too strongly, out toward right field. As a pitch that is high, a sort of a 3/4 speed let-up ball. 2-2. Donald looks down into the ground in front of him as though he was reading a note from somebody. Now lifts his eyes, takes the sign from Dickey, and starts pumping. Throws. Reza takes high for ball 3, and Donald threw him a high downer. Didn't come down enough. Full count of 3-2. After getting ahead of Reza, 0-2. Donald then started working on him. He's been pitching him first a fastball, then a let-up pitch, and then a downer, all high. So they're not pitching Reza anything low if they can help it. Donald pumping twice, 3 times. Delivers 3-2. Reza swings and misses at a high inside fastball. Strike 3 swinging. And it's nothing across for Brooklyn. Down 1-2-3. At the end of the first inning, it is a run. 2 hits and no errors for the Yankees. No runs, no hits and no errors for the Dodgers. And that ends the first inning.
There's punch and plenty of it behind Gillette's big offer, friends. Yes, sir, free Gillette shaving cream, either lather or brushless, with the purchase of 10 easy shaving Gillette Blue blades at the regular price of the blades alone. You can't tie that. So pop over to your dealers while this offer lasts. Get a tube of Gillette shaving cream with 10 improved Gillette Blue blades for only 49 cents. Well, this 4th game of the World Series is now going into the 2nd inning. 0-0, and here's Red.
Joe Gordon, who has 4 hits for 6 official at-bats. First up in the 2nd inning, to be followed by Rizzuto, and then by Donald. In case you just tuned in, the Yankees jumped off to a 1-run lead in the first inning, which had just been finished, of this 4th World Series ball game when, after Sturm had grounded out short to first, a brilliant play by Reese, Roth singled sharply on a line into left field, then held on as Henrik flied out to left, and with 2 gone, DiMaggio walked, getting ball 4 on a 3-1 pitch, which was a let-up ball high and inside. And then Keller promptly shot a line drive single through the hole between first and second into right field, and Roth scored. Higbee, who was ready to pitch to Gordon, got out of it, getting Dickey to break his bat swing on a pitch, bounced 1 out, second to first. Outfield well around toward left on Joe, who takes a high outside fastball, ball 1. Gordon is one of the most feared batters in baseball. Magnificent eyes, magnificent coordination, on a great set of wrists. Higbee pitches. Gordon takes high for ball 2. 2-0. Gordon steps back, goes for some dirt. This is just as hot an afternoon as you would expect in midsummer. The heat is really blistering. Players are perspiring freely. That's why you see them going into the dirt after practically every pitch when they're hitting. There's a pitch high and inside for ball 3, and Higbee's behind 3-0. First man up. And there's Coach Charlie Dresden stepping from the Brooklyn dugout and motioning down to the bullpen for activity, and motions with his left arm. That means French. Gordon takes a strike. 3-0 pitch was laid through there. And left-hander Larry French, who relieved and pitched to one man yesterday in the 8th inning, which turned the ball game upside down. And that was Dickey. French got him hit into a double play. And French is getting busy down the Brooklyn bullpen right now. Gordon swings on a 3-1 pitch and fouls it to the top of the stands behind third base. 3-1. 3-2. Full count. Higbee very calmly going about his business out there on the mound. Outfield as deep as it can get. Around toward left. Kirby sets, pumps, delivers. Gordon swings and hits it right back to the mound. Higbee knocks it down, picks it up. The throw is to first, in time by a step and a half, and Gordon is out. The pitcher to the first baseman. And the story on that is that Higbee was behind 3-0 to Gordon with his first 3 pitches. Justin stepped out of the Dodger dugout, motioned for left-hander Larry French to get busy in the bullpen, and then Higbee threw nothing but strikes and got Gordon throwing him out at first himself. Now it is 1 up and 1 gone, top of the second. Scooter Rizzuto. Stocky right-hand batter. Takes a fastball inside after looking for a split second, so he might be toying with the idea of laying down a bunt. 1 ball, no strikes. Briggs in close by third. Rizzuto is very adept, pushing bunts down toward third and beating them out. Higbee throws a high outside curve, ball 2. 2-0. Higbee looks in toward the Brooklyn dugout, toward DeRocha. Makes some sort of sign with his hand, and Higbee nods in the affirmative. Kirby pitches 2-0. Fastball right above the knees, over the inside slice for a called strike. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 man out. Nobody on. No traffic on the bases at all here in the second inning. The Yankees lead 1-0. Well, the great crowd settles down silently and watches. Rizzuto swings. There's a fly ball into short center. Here's Reza coming in. Now he's under it. And center fielder has it for the out. 2 up and 2 gone. And pitcher Donald is just now stepping out of the Yankee dugout. Here he is coming into view, and there's the applause growing as the fans out here see it. Donald is a right-handed pitcher, but a left-hand batter. French, who was throwing very busily for about 2 minutes down in the bullpen, is now sort of eased up. Donald leaning over the plate, takes a high outside fastball. Ball 1. The outfield is not around toward right. They don't figure Donald to pull Higbee. There's a fastball blown right through. 1-1. The reason the center field is over toward left center. Medrick is a couple of steps closer than normal, or straight away, toward the line. Higbee throws. There's a high pop fly to short. There's Reese going back, shielding his eyes with his glove, and makes the catch. He had been looking at that sky a long time. There's nothing, of course, for the Yankees. Top of the second inning. Up 1-2-3 and out. And the Yankees lead 1-0, and that ends the first half of the second inning.
Almost 35,000 of the Flatbush faithful at Ebbets Field bulging at the seams here today. That's a lot of people, and yet more than 100 times that many men have purchased Gillette Tech razors in recent months. Boy, to win fans at this rate, you've got to be good. Well, this Tech razor really has what it takes. Why, we could spend the rest of the afternoon reading wires from users. You should hear what users, including the players on both these embattled teams, have to say. Joe DiMaggio, for example, reports, the Gillette Tech put me wise to real shaving comfort. The Tech's 4 major improvements account for such enthusiasm as this. See what a difference they make. Ask your dealer for the World Series Special Gillette Tech with 5 improved Gillette Blue Blades. Pay only 49 cents and get the slickest shaving combination ever produced. Now going into the last half of the second inning, and here's Red.
Dolph Camilli is first up for the Dodgers, to be followed by Riggs and then by Medwick. The outfield around toward right. Camilli has 1 hit for 10 at-bats in the series. Takes a curve that breaks into him good for a called strike. Donald right-hander on the mound. Bill Dickey is his battery mate. Camilli standing midway in batter's box. Leans in, swings, and there's a fly one hit out toward right field. And it is up against the wall for an extra base. There's Camilli on his way for second. Here comes DiMaggio's throw, off slide, and is safe. And Camilli doubles. Sliding in just under Rizzuto's tag. And that was a beautiful throw from DiMaggio, who took the ball on the rebound on the column as it came off the right field concrete wall. A double by Camilli. Open up the last half of the second, and Brooklyn has a tying run halfway around. A great throw by DiMaggio, and Rizzuto was a little bit well, shall we say, burning at the moment. And Camilli was called safe. However, Rizzuto was trying to make the tag from the center field side of second base, and Camilli, seeing what was coming up, slid in from the pitcher's side of second base, and that made the difference. So Camilli on at second. And Lou Riggs is up. He's hitting at 1,000 in the series. He pinch hit in the first game. He's 1 for 1. This is his first starting assignment. Left-hand batter and a crouch. Takes high inside for ball 1. The Yankees lead 1-0, and the Dodgers are battling now. Take that leg away and tie it up. Off is right off third. Rizzuto is halfway up at short. The right side of the infield is back. Outfield shaded toward right. Donald throws. Riggs swings, and there's a high foul back to the top of the stands. Out of play. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's manager DeRocher coming down from behind first base where he's coaching. Calls Riggs to one side. Tells him something. Now Leo goes trotting back. Larry Getz steps around, brushes it off home plate. Bill Dickey walked a few paces out in front of the plate. Said something to Donald. Now the tall, long-armed right-hander for the Yankees, Atlee Donald, stands there and the sun is shining down on him. Camilli dances off second. Riggs crouches over the plate. Right-hander pitches. Riggs takes high and inside for ball 2. 2-1. And every time that a Yankee pitcher is in the slightest bit of trouble, Dickey immediately starts walking in front of the plate, killing a little time before throwing the ball back. It's a device he uses to sort of keep the pitcher going along easily and not let him work too much of a hurry. Donald throws. Riggs swings, and there's a high fly ball into very short right. Underneath it is right fielder Henrik, waiting. Makes the catch, and Camilli holds at second base, and the throw-in goes to second. And Henrik was coming in all the time with his glove up over his face in addition to his sunglasses. That's how strong the sun is and how bright the sky. Sunglasses are not enough today. Now Riggs, fly ball in the right field, and it's 1 out. And Joe Medrick stepping in. Joe has 4 for 12. Don Camilli on at second. Open up the last half of the second with a 2-bagger. Outfield is around toward left on Medrick. The biggest hole is right center. Infield is up 1 step and straight away. Medrick swings and bounces 1 to third. Rolfe grabs it, drives the runner back to second, throws to first high, and Henrik gets off the bag and gets back in time. And Medrick and DeRocher are now making a squawk to first base umpire Bill McGowan, claiming that Stern did not get his toe back onto the bag. That is out number 2, and Camilli remains at second base. The ball was hit to third ahead of the runner. And it's now 2 out. That was a very high throw from Rolfe that an inch higher would have been a complete overthrow and into the stands. As it was, Sturm had to leave first base, went way up into the air, and then coming down, stretched with his foot and just did tick the corner of first base. That's 2 gone. The batter is Mickey Owen, and the Yankees still hold their lead of 1-0. And Camilli, who opens up with the double last the second, is still at second. Infield up a step on Mickey. Camilli ready to go on anything now. 2 out. Owen gets tired of waiting on Donald and backs up. I don't believe you can recall a series in which all pitching has been done with so much deliberation. Now Owen's back in there. Completely closed stance. Takes a high inside curve for ball 1. Donald was working along in the first inning when he was setting the Dodgers down as fast as they got up. Just firing that ball back as quick as he could get the sign from Dickey. But here in the second inning with Camilli at second, taking his time. Throws a fast sidearm fastball through there. And it's ball strike 1. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dickey walks out in front of the plate, and the ball is thrown in. Larry Getz takes it out of play, puts in another one. Mickey Owen turned around and asked for that examination. 1-1. Dickey standing in front of the plate, and Donald turns his back on him. Now Donald fiddles around. Owen, meantime, pumping that stick, leaning over the plate. Cross-strut, bend at the knees, and a severe crouch. Chips that stick about 2 inches up from the knob. Donald throws. In fact, I guess you could say that between pitches here in the last half of the second inning, we'd have time for at least maybe 2 Gillette shaves. Donald throws 2-2. A curve that just misses low inside, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it's an automatic run and hit. Mickey Owen at first, ultimately at second, will be on their ways. On a favorable motion of Donald's right arm. The pitch is Koskarot's judgment. Outside for ball 4, he'll take it. It's in the strike zone, he'll be after it. Let's see what happens. Donald in position. There's a stir in the stands. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. A fast sidearm pitch just at the spot around the knees. Koskarot was struck out. And that was all for the Brooklyn bid. That's the second strikeout for Donald. And so it is a run, 2 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Dodgers. It's a story for 2 full innings, 1-0. Favor the Yankees. And on the broadcast with the best wishes of the Gillette Safety Razor Company. We're going to pause for 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
This is WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.
Back at Ebbets Field, Brooklyn. Getting ready for the 3rd inning in the top of the Yankee batting order. Higbee is taking his time, and he's just now leaving the Dodger dugout and walking to the mound. And this game is being played with more deliberation than all of the others put together. And we thought in the other games we'd seen some very deliberate baseball staged. I think it is a part of what you would call the practical playing psychology of the 2 teams. Here in a tough series, to have the pitchers take their time and let the hitters wait. As the pitchers say, let the boys cool off up there. And on occasion, we've seen the fire return when the batters, seeing that the pitcher would be just ready to throw, would step back out of the box. That would be calculated to upset the pitcher to a degree. If you recall yesterday when Johnny Allen came on to relieve in the 9th inning, it was Russo himself who stepped out on Allen. And Allen was exploded enough to come all the way down to the plate and bellow. However, it didn't upset his pitching efficiency. But at any rate, that gives you a key as to what they're trying to do, and it is being done calculatedly and deliberately. Now Higbee's ready. And Stern, who opened the ball game by being thrown out, has reached the shortstop, went back at second for the grounder. Stern is up for his second at bat. He now has 3 hits from 13 official tries here in the series. Outfield shaded around toward left. 1-0, favor the Yankees. Stern swings and fouls the first pitch right back. It hits the stands with a solid crack, hit a pipe. 0-1. Higbee pitching. He's one of the fellows who defies the fates. He wears number 13. In fact, that would have been quite a story if 13 were Fitzsimmons' number. The way he was cracked on the knee yesterday. Stern, a left-hand hitter. Leaning over the plate, takes from the outside. All 1. Higbee, a right-hander. Mickey Owen catching. Swilly at first. Koskarot at second. Reese is at short. At third is Lou Riggs today. Avigello played third the first 3 games. Stern swings as a drive out toward right field. Walker going over against the wall and pulls it down for the out. That's all for Stern. Nice running catch by right fielder Dixie Walker. In the outfield for Brooklyn, there's Medwick in left field, Reese in center, and Walker in right. There's been no change there throughout the entire series. There's been no change in any of the Yankee positions except on the mound. Red Rolfe got the first hit of the ball game, and that ultimately led to the 1 run of the game. Rolfe single in the first inning. That's 5 for 13. Left-hand batter. Takes a low curve under the knees. Ball 1. The breeze that was an inning ago now isn't. Flags hanging limp at the staffs. Rolfe takes a strike. Just above the knees. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0. Favor the Yankees. Rolfe a single in the first inning, moving to second as DiMaggio walked and scored on Keller's single. Higbee throws. Rolfe swings and belts it right back through the middle. A line drive into short center for a clean base hit. And Rolfe now has 2 for 2 this afternoon. He has 2 of the 3 Yankee hits off Higbee. And Rolfe now has a total of 6 base hits here in the series. Tommy Henry who has 2 hits for 12 at-bats stepping in. Guards the plate from behind is a left-hand batter. Cowtails that wood. Put it down by the end. 1 out. Rolfe at first. Henrik takes a let-up ball, a slow pitch. Change of pace. It was outside. Ball 1. Miller, the first baseman, holding the bag against the runner. Then as Higbee pitches into the plate, Dolph cuts out a couple of steps. Henrik swings and misses at a hipper-dipper curveball, breaking down under his hands. 1-1. Outfield shaded toward right and back. Henrik sets, takes fastball low and outside. Ball 2. 2-1. No activity in the bullpen. French did throw some in the second inning when it looked as though Higbee was going to lose his control, and he hasn't thrown since, and there has not been a ball thrown in the Yankee bullpen in back of Donald. Higbee pitches low outside for ball 3. 3-1. And there's Dresden stepping out in front of the Dodger dugout and motioning for a left-hander and a right-hander to get busy. So there's French getting up. There's the pitch. A strike call just under the shoulders on the outside. 3-2. And the right-hander getting up is Hugh Casey. To Henry. Let's see if Rolfe is going down. Well, the Yankees are playing a running hit or not. 1 out. Higbee delivers. There goes Rolfe. Henrik swings, and it's a line drive foul. And French knocks it down in the Brooklyn bullpen. Turned around from the crack of the bat. And the ball came to him on the first bounce. Just missed about 4 feet. And Rolfe, who was all the way around to third, pulls up, goes cutting back diagonally across the diamond, walking toward first. So it's 3-2 right on. Well, the Yankees were running then. Let's see if they're running again. This has been a running series. I can recall no World Series in which the games have been tied to a figure 3-2, 3-2, and 2-1 ball games. You'd have a lot of bunting and playing for 1 run, but it hasn't been that way at all. Keeping in position, delivers. There goes Rolfe again. Henrik swings. There's a high fly ball deep into right center. It's way back out, John. To Walker back to the wall. Reza back. And Walker makes the catch. Completely against the wall. The throw comes into second base, and Rolfe gets back to first. Dixie Walker takes one right off the concrete, 400 feet away. Listen. That was a tremendous high fly ball, belted in the general direction of where the World's Fair was a year ago. And Walker went right back up against the concrete wall, deep right center. Reza, the center fielder, was coming over and hesitated slightly, but Walker didn't. He powered right on and made the catch. Now it's 2 out. DiMaggio up and Rolfe is back at first. And Joe gets away for one. It's right up under the chin. Outfield deep around toward left. DiMaggio walked in the first inning. The pitch is change of pace, very slow, down in front of the chin. Ball 2. And Brooklyn pitchers continue pitching here and there, around and about, giving DiMaggio some of this and some of that. Anything of the same, right back again if they can help it. Higbee throws a fast ball that is beaten down foul, and DiMaggio really wound up on it. He windmilled for that one. 2-1. Joe doesn't say anything. That first pitch really made him almost get under a low bridge. 2-1. 2 out. The Yankees lead 1-0. And they are at bat in the third inning with Red Rolfe. Possessor of 2 straight singles. The runner at first, Millie Holding. Higbee throws. DiMaggio swings at a bounding ball to deep short. Reese is up with it. Throws to second to Cosgrove for an easy force on Rolfe. The runner coming down from first. He scored DiMaggio as a force out, and Higbee pitches out of that trouble in the third inning. And Dixie Walker really turned it. There's a tremendous ovation given Walker as he comes tearing into the stand. Listen. And so at the end of 2.5 innings, it is a run, 3 hits, no errors for the Yankees. For the Dodgers, it is no run, 1 hit, and no errors. And there is Donald. Tall, long-armed, long-legged right-hander. He's very loose out there on the mound. One of the loosest pitchers you'll ever see. When he has nobody on, he's using a full pumping motion. He bends down until his gloved hand, the fingers of the glove, actually scrape the ground. It's a pumping motion which is just as complete as Vandermeer of the Cincinnati Reds. And then when he follows through, he comes all the way around. Throwing down to Bill Dickey. And the Yankee club now on the field defensively in the last of the third. There's applause for Higbee as he comes out to be the first batter in the last of the third inning. Donald and Dickey the battery, an infield of Sturm at first, Gordon at second, Rizzuto at short, and Rolfe at third. In the outfield, Keller is in left. In center, DiMaggio, and in right field is Henry. Kirby Higbee, big 13, passes on the back of his monkey suit blouse. Right-hand batter up there. Swings and taps a pitch foul. Back at first base is coming down close to the stands and in amidst the spectators, and out of play. Sturm is over there watching. 0-1. Higbee swinging a brown bat. Holds it down by the end. Outfield a couple of steps toward right. They don't play him to pull. Higbee swings, fouls it back. Strike two. Everything sort of quiet. Two teams battling along, never out of reach of the other. This game so far is following the pattern set by the first three. Higbee swings and hits it into left center field for a base hit. It's in for a clean single. And Higbee, to the roar of the crowd, pulls up at first. 2 strikes on him. Donald slowed up somewhat, and Higbee timed it and tapped it. Into center. Letters at number 2 to the Dodgers. Is holding Higbee's jacket, and Kirby slipped his arms in. Keep his right arm warm. Now the top of the Brooklyn batting order, beginning its second go-round. Reese, to be followed by Walker. Scores 1-0. Favor the Yankees, and the Dodgers have the potential tying run on at first. Now Rolfe is right off third. Sturm is right off first. They're both ready to come in if a bunt's going to be the play. Donald throws, Reese sets the bunt, and then takes a pitch that's high and outside. Ball 1. The maneuvering of the infield, as you know, on a bunt play. On the pitch, the first baseman comes running in. The third baseman comes running in. The shortstop goes over to cover second, and the second baseman comes over to take first. And the pitcher breaks off the mound toward the third base line. Here's the pitch, and Reese bunts at it and misses it completely. The pitch was over anyhow for a strike. 1-1. Now there's Sturm walking back to take first base. Rolfe backing back toward third. Rizzuto going back out to short. Gordon back to second. Outfield around toward left. Biggest hole is right center. 1-1. Reese slim the right-hand batter. Here's Sturm halfway in. And then there's no pitch. Donald backs back off the mound. And the Yankee infield now is, by their action, virtually certain that Reese will be bunting. Let's see. 1-1. Reese swings. There's a bounding ball down toward second base. Gordon up with it. The play's back to second base, and Higbee is forced. And Reese is on at first with a force out. And what the Dodgers tried to do was cross up the Yankee infield, but it's awful hard to do it the right side with a man by the name of Joe Gordon down there. Of course, that was a bounding ball which was hit down to the right side of the infield, and Gordon was up with it and played back to Rizzuto, the shortstop, covering at second base. And it was a force on Higbee. Reese is on with the force out. Speaking in terms of a potential sacrifice a moment ago, friends, there is no need to sacrifice shaving comfort another day. Get one of those Gillette Tech razors and see how easy shaving can be. Bill Dickey out at the mound, talking to Donald for the moment. Here's Dixie Walker coming in. And with Donald taking so much time on the mound, in fact, the Yankee pitchers, roughing set the pattern, and everyone thought he was quite deliberate the opening day game. But the pitchers who have followed have been even more deliberate, and today Donald is setting an all-time record of time elapsed between pitches when he has men on. Walker up, left-hand batter. Dixie swings as a line drive into short left. Keller comes in under it and takes it for the out. And Reese, halfway down to second, returns back to first. What we started to say was, in answer to Donald's taking so much time, the Brooklyn batters are deliberately now being very slow about getting in to even begin hitting. 2 out for the Dodgers. Last of the third, 1-0, favor the Yankees. Here's Pete Reza, who was struck out swinging in the first inning. Left-hand batter. He has 1 for 12. Outfield around toward right. Donald throws. Reza takes a fastball low and outside. That's the first low pitch that Reza has seen today. But that one was low and away. Ball 1. Reza at first, ready to go on anything, and Stern is giving him full attention, holding the bag against him. Donald in position. Throws. Reza swings at a bounding ball deep to the right side. Gordon juggles it as it goes through. And there is Reese going around second for third. Reza spins around first base, puts on the brakes, and then comes back into first. Gordon came over and did very well to get a glove on the ball, but couldn't hold it. It went on through and into right field. We're waiting for the judgment of the score, and it's a hit. It's a single for Reza. Single through the second baseman. And Reese running with 2 outs, zoomed around and into third base, and that is the third hit for Brooklyn. There's no activity in the Yankee bullpen, and Dolph Camilli, who doubled in the second inning, is stepping up. Bill Dickey walks in front of the plate. There are the Yankees using the delay tactics again. Dickey holds up 2 fingers, indicating 2 out. And every pitch is being very carefully thought out. Every maneuver is being plotted. Outfield around toward right. Donald in position. Reese leading down off third. Reza off first. Camilli swings and misses. And he really took a cut. Dickey walks in front of the plate and returns the ball to the mound. 0-1. As Dickey goes back at the plate, cuts his eyes into the dugout. It's 1-0 favor the Yankees. And Camilli, one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball because he swings hard and always swings, is up there. The roommates are on the bases. Reese at third, Reza at first. Donald delivers high outside. Ball 1, 1-1. 2 men gone. Outfield around toward right. Now there's a steady hubbub rolling around the over 30,000 fans. One ball, 1 strike. Donald waiting, now throws. A fastball low inside. Dickey had to stop right down in front of his right foot. Now Bill slips his mitt, starts rubbing the ball, and walks out toward the mound. 2 balls, 1 strike to Camilli. Gee, this weather. You'd be surprised to really know what the weather has done to the fall wardrobes of the fair sex. They were all set for this series with furs, etc., but they're having little chance to wear them. Shirt sleeve weather. Donald pitches 2-1. Camilli swings and grounds it foul, halfway down toward first base. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gordon comes in from second to the mound. He's talking to Donald. Ralph comes over from third. And now Larry gets orders that ball to be thrown into him for an inspection. And after twirling it in his fingers, you find some abrasion on it. Tosses it out, puts in another new one. And Dickey takes it, rubbing it up, walks out to the mound. So the status. 1-0 is the score. Favor the Yankees. The Dodgers are threatening the last of the second inning. It's 2-2 to Camilli. Reese is the runner at third base, and Reza is the runner at first, and they both can fly. The outfield is deep and around toward right on Dolph. Left side of the infield is up a step with Rizzuto at short, pinched in toward second. Gordon is his normal depth. Straight away at second base, and Sturm holding first against Reza. Here's the pitch. It's a curveball under the hands, taken for ball 3. It's 3-2 to Camilli. And now DeRocha runs over to first base to remind Reza to be sure and be on his way. That it's an automatic run and hit as far as he and Camilli are concerned. 3-2. Dahl pushes the peak of his cap up slightly above his eyes and steps in. Dickey goes down very coolly in the catching crouch. Pumps the sign. This could be a very important pitch right now. Donald looks down, takes the sign. Stretches, and then Camilli backs out. And Camilli backs out on him. Now Donald is allowed to stand there on the mound. 3-2. Camilli steps back in, and Donald goes back at the mound with a rosin bag. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Camilli's waiting. Donald sets, in position. Delivers. Camilli swings at a ground ball straight to first baseman Stern, who picks it up with his foot already on the bag, and Camilli is out. And Donald slowed down slightly on that pitch, and Dolph overswung on it. Grounded out to the opposing first baseman. Unassisted. That's all for the Brooklyn bid. No runs and 2 hits. 2 men were left. No Yankee errors. At the end of 3 innings, a run, 3 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. And that ends the 3rd inning.
Well, before Charlie Keller steps up to the platter and starts the 4th inning, I've time to remind you again of Gillette's free shaving cream offer. And I mean free. You get a regular 25-cent tube of Gillette shaving cream, lather or brushless, with 10 easy shaving, glass-hard Gillette blue blades for 49 cents. Just the price of the blades alone. So see your dealer, men. Get yours today. All right, this 4th game of the World Series is going into the 4th inning. Score 1-0, favor of the Yankees, and here's Red Bartlett.
Well, the delay in the pitches and the batter stepping out too reminds us of one of those priceless stories of Al Shacks. I think he tells it on Mo Berg that the second game of a doubleheader, and Mo was having to catch both of them. It was very hot. That the pitcher was, Mo would go down and give the sign, the pitcher would get ready to pitch, and the batter would step out, and then when the batter would step in, the pitcher would break back off the rubber, and so finally Berg went over and sat down in the dugout, said to the plate umpire, notify those two whenever they're ready to play ball, I'll come out and catch. Here's Charlie Keller, who's single in the 1st inning, ripped into right field, sent the Yankees ahead 1-0. That's the way the score stands right now. Higbee pitches, and Keller swings and fouls one behind first base. He fell away from an inside pitch and then went after it. Strike 1. Keller has 4 hits for 11 at-bats. And it is amazing that the pitching efficiency continues at such a high standard throughout this series, because you have 2 tremendously strong power ball clubs. 2 clubs that can hit. Higbee throws and misses with his change of pace on the outside. 1-1. Outfield around toward right. First man up in the 4th inning. 1-0, favor the Yankees. The pitch is a low inside curve down by the shins. Ball 2, 2-1. Harold Combs, first base coach. Art Fletcher back of 3rd. Higbee pitches 2-1. A let-up ball, which is swung on, is going deep out toward right center. Back up against the screen and bounding across for next to base. Here's Keller coming into 2nd and makes it standing. Reza took the ball on the rebound off the wall, and it is a tremendous double by Keller. Higbee slowed up, came down with a 3/4 speed pitch, and you could see Keller just gather himself and wait for it. Timed it perfectly and felt it high and far to right center field. And it is a double by Keller to give him 2 for 2, and Keller and Rolfe have a monopoly on the Yankee hits so far for the afternoon. And now Mickey Owen is out at the mound, talking to Higbee. The Brooklyn catcher comes stuffing his way now, back toward the plate. It's a big double by Charlie Keller. First hitter of the 4th inning. And Dresden steps out now and motions down to the Brooklyn bullpen for the firemen. Start warming up. Left-hander Larry French, who's apparently first on call today, gets up to start throwing. Roy Spencer. Dickey, the batter, takes a high outside fastball. Ball 1. Charlie Keller on at 2nd. Nobody gone. Top of the 4th. Dickey bounced out 2nd to 1st in the 1st inning. He has 3 hits for 13 at-bats in the series. Takes high for ball 2. 2-0. Larry French losing no time down the bullpen. He's throwing hard. The 3rd time he's been up throwing down there. Higbee in position, looks at second, delivers. Dickey takes ball 3. Pitch just inside on the hand. Fastball. 3-0. Dickey steps in. Certainly moves around easily in a ball game. Higbee throws 3-0. Right through there. Dickey let it go. 3-1. Let's see what happens. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Keller at second. Ankle's giving him no trouble at all in the series. Dickey takes high outside for ball 4 and walks. And a double followed by a base on ball. That's the second walk given up by Higbee. And the Yankees are now clustered at first and second. And Joe Gordon stepping in. And Mickey Owen goes out to the mound. And now with Higbee in trouble, it is the Brooklyn turn to start figuring before every pitch. The stakes are so high here in this World Series. There is so much pressure on the two clubs to beat each other because otherwise this is a neighborhood brawl. Otherwise these are the boys from not one side of the street coming across to visit the other, but the boys from across the river, as they say around this part of the country. First meeting ever of the Yankees and the Dodgers, a World Series. Now the runners at first and second, nobody out, and Gordon up. Right-hand batter takes a fastball inside under the shoulders, right up on the letters. Ball 1. 1-0. Higbee takes his time standing there now. Art Fletcher talking it up from back of third. Dickey leading off first. Outfield around toward left. And Gordon gets away from a high inside curve. Has to turn back from it. Ball 2. 2-0. Mickey Owen crouches. Gives the sign. 2-0. Higbee throws over for a strike. Hand high. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Keller at second. Dickey at first. The Brooklyn infield is back. Back on the left side. Gordon runs up and swings as though he was trying to hit the right field. And missed for strike 2. And when Gordon stepped in, from the time Gordon came to bat, with runners at first and second and nobody out. But in most times in the baseball game, it's a bunt situation, especially if it's a one-run difference, such as this one, 1-0. Still, the Dodgers are not looking for a bunt from Gordon or from the Yankees. Riggs has been all the way back. Has a pitch high inside for ball 3, and it's a full count of 3-2. Gordon wringing his hands together, dusting them all, getting them dry. Now steps in. Quiet for the moment. Higbee pitches 3-2. Gordon swings as a fly ball going into short left center, and it's in for a base hit. Medvick takes on the first bounce. Keller has to hold up at third, and the bases are full. Keller had to wait, coming halfway down from second to third to be sure that the ball would not be caught from left center field by left fielder Medvick. Joe had to play it on the first bounce, and it's a long single for Gordon, and there are 3 men on for the Yankees. And up steps Rizzuto. Reese comes in from short. Talks to Higbee for the moment. Mickey Owen walking around out in front of the plate now, bellowing something at him. And for Gordon, that was his 5th hit so far in the series, and that is hit number 5 for the Yankees. Hit number 8 in this ball game. French is not fooling around in the Brooklyn bullpen. Rizzuto up. The infield is in close, more than halfway. The outfield around toward left. 3 on, nobody out. Rizzuto takes a curve high inside for ball 1. The Yankees ahead 1-0. And now threatening with a crusher here in the top of the 4th. Infield enclosed. Higbee throws. Rizzuto swings, bounces to third. Riggs is up with it, throws to the plate. There's 1 out. They throw down to first. Not in time at first base, just to force it home. Now it is 1 man out, and there's still 3 on. And pitcher Donald is stepping in. Riggs had to fumble momentarily. The ball was skipped at him very hard down toward third. The ball hit the heel of his glove, but he had his right hand backing it up. And after a quick fumble, his throw is into Mickey Owen, and the catcher with his foot anchored on the plate then threw down to first, but not in time. So it's a force at the plate. The third baseman to the catcher. And Keller is out with Dickey moving down to third base. Gordon going to second, and Rizzuto with a force out is at first. And here now is Atlee Donald crouching in over the plate. He's a left-hand batter. Outfield around toward left. The infield is halfway in. And Higbee's right through there with a curveball called strike. 0-1. Dickey off third. Gordon off second. Rizzuto off first. One out. Riggs is right off third. In the event that there should be a squeeze play, and the rest of the infield is pretty well back. Donald swings and waves for strike two, and Higbee pulled the string on another curve. Nothing in two. And it's still 1-0 in favor of the Yankees. Which way will the cat jump now? Now Higbee has the whip handle. He's sitting in the catbird seat against his opposing pitcher. Donald slips his hands down a little bit on that bat. Nothing in two. Higbee throws. Donald swings and misses for strike three. A big curve. It struck the full length of the plate. And Higbee gets his first strikeout of the ball game. Came at a time in which he needed it. Now there's two men gone. And so we see the reason why the Dodgers were so certain that Gordon would not be bunting when he went up to the plate with runners at first and second and nobody out, with Rizzuto and Donald to follow. Johnny Sturm, 0 for 2 this afternoon, has 3 for 14. Left-hand batter stepping in. Brooklyn infield is now back, especially deep on the right side. It's up one step on the left side. And the outfield is in fairly close with left fielder Medwick straight away, center fielder Reeser a couple of steps off the line toward left, and Walker straight away and right. Higbee pitches. Sturm takes the fastball low outside, ball one. 1-0. It is still 3 on. Nobody has scored in the fourth, although the Yankees have threatened all over the lot. The scoreboard still reads 1 for New York, 0 for Brooklyn. Game 4 of the series. Higbee ready to work. Full pitching motion. Throws. Fastball, which is lined into center field for a base hit. Here's Dickey coming in to score. Reeser throws toward the plate. Here's Gordon coming to the plate, and he too scores. And 2 runs are in. Rizzuto holds at second as Sturm with 2 out and 3 men on. Malebas a line drive for a sharp single into center field. And Reeser's throw to the pitch was not in time to prevent the second run coming across. And the Yankees now lead 3-0, and Sturm with his 4th hit of the series, a sharp single. This one was crowned. Drives in 2 runs. Dickey coming in to score from third, and Gordon right on his heels, coming in from second base. Rizzuto held up at second. Now there's a conference out at the mound, and Manager DeRoche is out there talking to Higbee. It is 3-0 in favor of the Yankees, and this is the widest margin that either team has had, and that is all for Higbee. And French is to be brought in from the bullpen. And Higbee is finished. And just when it appeared that the young right-hander had gotten over the worst of it, when with 3 men on and nobody out, he still kept the bases full, allowed no one to score, and got 2 outs, and then had to stir him up. Then came the line drive single, laced in the center. Now here comes the veteran Larry French from the bullpen, out in back of the right field corner. And there's 3-0 in favor of the Yankees. And they're still not retired in the top of the 4th. Ralph, who has 2 for 2, is to be the first batter to be faced by French. And French is announced over the public address system. It's going to be a minute or so before we have a resumption of activity. It's the great pleasure of the Gillette Safety Razor Company to bring you this stirring 1941 World Series, every pitch of it. And we're pausing now for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
You are listening to WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.
And the applause is for Higbee as he leaves the mound, walking shoulder to shoulder, in step with his manager, Leo DeRoche. Off the 2 go back to the Brooklyn dugout. Mickey Orme was out at the mound talking to French for the moment. Now here's a little catcher stepping back of the plate. Larry French will throw down a few pitches. And with 3 men on and 2 out, after it looked as though Higbee had just about fished himself out of the woods, because in the eyes of baseball people, when you get 3 men on, if you get the 1 and 2 batters, which means then that no one can score on an out, you've just about accomplished it. In other words, it takes a clean base hit to hurt you. And that's exactly what happened. Sturm fell it into center field. It was clean. Decisive. And DeRoche lost no time. That decided that. Walked out to the mound. Old plate umpire Larry gets to bring in French in the bullpen. Red Rolfe is standing to one side. French is getting all set. He pitched to 1 man. Dickey got him hit into a double play in the 8th inning yesterday. His only appearance so far in the series. Now he's ready to go. It's Rizzuto at second base, and Sturm, who's now the Yankee man of the moment, leading down off first. 3-0, favor the Yankees. Here is Rolfe, who hasn't been stopped today, 2 for 2 against Higby. French sets. Barrel-chested left-hander. In position, throws. Low outside into the ground. Owen is up with it. And let's see, the runners are Sturm is off first base. There's the throw. There's Rizzuto going down to third. Cavalli throws to third. Rizzuto's in a run-up now between third and second. There is Reese running him down. And the Brooklyn shortstop outruns the Yankee one. And that's the third out. And Larry French in 2 days has now pitched to just one batter officially and gotten 3 outs. That's an oddity. That must be some sort of a record. What happened was, as that ball hit the ground in front of the plate, the Sturm thought that the ball would get away from Mickey Owen. Well, Owen blocked it and recovered it. And there was Sturm, the runner off first, halfway between first and second, but with Rizzuto was on at second. So Mickey Owen threw to Camilli at first base. And then Dolph blocked and raced Sturm down towards second, and so Rizzuto broke for third. Then Camilli diagonally across the diamond to third baseman Riggs, who then ran Rizzuto closely back to second, and then threw to shortstop Reese. And there the two kid shortstops went at it. Sort of like Achilles and Hector going around the walls. And the Brooklyn shortstop had more foot and tagged Rizzuto out. And that ends the first half of the 4th inning.
You know, boys and girls, Atlee Donald certainly isn't giving anything away out there on the mound today. But that doesn't go for Gillette. No, sirree. Right now, Gillette is giving away a 25-cent tube of shaving cream, either lather or brushless, with the purchase of 10 improved Gillette Blue Blades at the regular price, 49 cents. Men Gillette Lather Cream contains 3 beneficial oils. It works up a rich, full-bodied, moisture-laden lather that softens whiskers double quick. Now, if you prefer brushless, you'll go for Gillette Brushless, made with pure peanut oil. It's free from grease, can't clog razor or drains, rinses in a jiffy, speed shaving. So take your choice. See your dealer before his supply is exhausted and get a free tube of Gillette shaving cream with 10 diamond-tested, heavy-duty Gillette Blue Blades for 49 cents. Ball game into the last half of the 4th, and here's Red.
3-0 favor the Yankees, and Donald pitches to Lou Riggs, the first batter, and lays a strike through above the knees, and it's taken. 0-1. Riggs 0 for 1 this afternoon, and 1 for 2 so far in the series. Steps out of the box. Now gets in. 3-0 favor the Yankees. We'll go back over that rundown play for you again in just a moment. Top of the 4th. Donald throws high inside for ball 1, and that must be some sort of a record for Larry French. He pitched to Dickey yesterday and got him to hit into a double play, so that made him pitching to one man for 2/3 of an inning. And he does not face Rolfe officially, although he does give a pitch to him and gets an out, so he's pitched in an inning now and faced one batter. Has a pitch low outside to Lou Riggs, ball 2, and it's 2-1. When French's first pitch to Rolfe went into the ground, Sturm broke for second, thinking the ball would go through, but Owen made the save and threw to Camilli at first. And then Rizzuto broke for third. Donald pitches, Riggs swings, and there's a high pop fly down by second. Gordon shielding his eyes, second baseman waiting for it in his tracks. Has it for the out. 1 up and 1 gone, last of the 4th. And then when Rizzuto broke from second for third, Camilli threw over to third base to Riggs, the third baseman, who then threw to shortstop Reese, who was back by second. And Reese and Rizzuto had a race, and Reese won. Won it about 5 feet away from third base. So on that, the pitcher does not get an assist. It's the catcher to the first baseman, to the third baseman, to the shortstop. Joe Medvick up. Fastball is very high, ball 1. Medvick 0 for 1. And the Yankees now have built up the biggest lead that either team has been able to manufacture so far in this series at any stage of it. They're leading now 3-0. Donald throws sidearm. Medvick swings and misses and spins all the way around like a gyroscope that got out of its moorings. And it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield well around toward left. Medvick leans in toward the plate. Donald sidearm. Joe swings and cuffs an outside pitch foul out of the park behind first base. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Medvick ready. Using that dark round bat. Pulls it down by the end. Here's the pitch. It's a high curve for ball 2. 2-2. 1 out, nobody on, last of the 4th. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Donald spits out of trouble the last 2 innings. Delivers. Medvick swings and fouls it back. And Donald is side-arming Joe. 2-2. Atlee Donald, long arm right-hander. Bill Dickey catching. In infield, Sturm at first. We just drove in runs 2 and 3 for the Yankees. Gordon at second. Rizzuto is at short. Third is wrong. In the outfield, it is Keller, DiMaggio, Henry. Sidearm pitch is swung on. There's a high fly ball into left center. Here's DiMaggio coming on. 100. Takes it for the out. It's all from Hedrick. Fly ball to the center fielder. Moved on to left center to take it. Now it is 2 up and 2 gone. Last of the 4. And the matter is Mickey Owen. Hasn't been up officially today. Drew a base on ball in the second inning. Mickey rubs at the edge of his cap. So there might be a little fraying out there which might distort his vision. Now pumping at Wood, sets himself. Outfield around toward left to a degree. Mickey ducks a low inside pitch. Ball 1. 2 out. Somebody on. Everything sort of quiet. It's a hot afternoon and a bright one. There's an inside fastball. Ball 2. 2-0. Darnold working very easily now. This is the first time he's been able to pitch easily in an inning since the first inning. Infield up a step on the left side. Gordon pulled in a step towards second base. There's a strike. 2-1. Call. Darnold just laying that one through. 3-0. Favor the Yankees. They're just joining us on this Gillette broadcast. Owen takes low outside for ball 3. 3-1. Mickey waving at Wood vigorously. Now stops it. Donald delivers. High for ball 4. Mickey Owen for the second straight time walks. He's received the only 2 passes given up by Atley. Pete Koskoroff stepping in. Koskoroff is filling in for the injured Billy Herman. Very funny the way the fates are sort of looking at things. Herman comes on the Brooklyn Ball Club in May and takes the job away from Koskoroff. Mickey Owen leading down off first. Pete takes a strike. And then Herman is one of the keys in Brooklyn's drive for the pennant. And then in the series, Herman is hurt and Koskoroff, the deposed second baseman, is playing the bag. Donald delivers low, ball 1. I was talking to Doc Painter, the trainer for the Yankees, before today's ball game, and he told me that every one of the Yankees was sincerely sorry that first Fitzsimmons was hurt and second that Billy Herman was hurt, because the Yankees, in wanting to play the Dodgers, wanted to play them at their best. They wanted the best men that Brooklyn had to be in there. Pitch high inside for ball 2. And that is a wonderful reaction from a ball club. But it is a reaction that is true of both of these clubs, because you have 2 good teams with great spirits in this club, in this series. And now Johnny Allen is limbering up in the bullpen, which means that should Koskoroff get on, there probably would be a pinch hitter for relief pitcher French. Donald looks at first, throws. Koskoroff takes low for ball 3. And Donald well ahead. Now behind. And there is Fletcher coming out in front of the Yankee dugout to look into the Yankee bullpen. There's a pitch on the outside for ball 4. And after getting the first 2 men up, out, and pitching to the bottom of the batting order, Donald walks first Owen and then Koskoroff. And now let's see, will it be a pinch hitter? 2 successive walks after 2 men were retired. Allen continues throwing in the Brooklyn bullpen, and Jimmy Wasdell is being called upon to pinch hit. And this activity now in the Yankee bullpen. Getting up to start work down there. Brewer and Branch, 2 right-handers who were throwing a couple of times yesterday in back of Russell. And Jimmy Wasdell is being called on to pinch hit for the second time in the series. He's 0 for 1. He's the pinch hitter who hit the foul ball which Red Rolfe caught in the first game, on which Reese was doubled up coming into third. Speaking of double plays, there have been no double plays so far in this series. We can tell you that there's always a great double play whenever it's the Gillette Tech razor with the Gillette blue blade. Now let's see, 2 out. Runners at first and second. Wasdell pinch hitting, a left-hand batter. Swings and misses, and a low curveball that hit the ground just as it went into Dickey's mitt, back of the plate. That's strike one. Wasdale went up there apparently determined to hit that first pitch, even if it was in the next county, and he went after it. Mickey Owen at second, Pete Coscarog first, both ready to go on anything. Johnny Allen will be the next pitcher for Brooklyn, warming up in the bullpen. Wasdale takes a pitch that hits the ground in front of the plate this time, and Dickey blocks it with his chest protector, and the runner's pulled. Ball one. Wasdale, the former American leaguer. The Dodgers got him 2 years ago from the Washington club. New balls put in play. Larry French is indeed setting some sort of a charm record for relief efficiency. He walked in yesterday and pitched to one man and got him to hit to a double play. Walks out today and makes one pitch to Rolfe, and the result was that rundown. Wasdale is batting for French and Johnny Allen. Getting ready. He's relieved twice previously. Pitched 3 innings, hasn't been scored on. Wasdale swings, and there's a long foul deep into the right field stand, up against the screen. Pulled too much. 1-2. Dickey takes the new ball, walks it out to the mound, says something to Hatley. Right funny again that the first batter that French was called on to pitch to in his relief role in the 4th inning was Rolfe. Will be the same fellow that Allen will come out and pitch to in the top of the 5th. Talk about song I could write a book. Well, this is the World Series in which you could write a whole library full of books. So much humanness, the oddities, things that happen. The heat of the contest is only being matched by this present weather this afternoon. Nadal ready. And then steps back off the mound. Wasdale stays in there. Left-hand hitter. Mickey Owen, second. Pete Coscarog at first. Donald sets. Delivers. Wasdale swings. There's a long fly out toward the left field corner. It's a question whether it's fair or foul. And it is fair for an extra base. Here comes Owen in to score. Here's Coscarog coming in to score. And it's a double for Wasdale into the left field corner. This. Wasdale as a pull hitter to right and pitched him on the outside. And he hit an outside pitch, a high fly. It looked for the moment as though it might even be foul into the left field corner, right alongside where the Yankee pitchers are getting ready. And Keller could not get over to it. He was swung around toward left center. It was a double that scored Owen from second and Coscarog from first. They were both running with 2 outs. And it is now a 3-2 ball game. The tying runs at second, and they're going wild here at Brooklyn. Well, when they go wild, they go wild. You know what I mean? Reese up. Johnny Allen keeps working away down in the bullpen, and it's a brand new ball game again. Wasdale's pinch hit double. And thus in the 4th inning, we had a blow on each side. Be very important. The single good for 2 runs by Sturm with 3 men on and 2 out. And with 2 on and 2 out, the pinch hit double that got in 2 runs. So it's a 3-2 ball game, and they're at it again, these 2 teams. Reese takes Heim, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And DeRocha calls for Herman Franks to come out of the bullpen, to come down to first base, and he tells Franks exactly what he wants him to do down there. And Franks goes down, and there is Casey in response to Franks' sign, getting up to start throwing. Reese takes high for ball 2. And Dickey, again, is walking out in front of the plate for firing the ball back. With 2 men out, and everything very quiet. Well, it was a quiet that was sort of a suspicious lulling. Came a walk to Owen and a walk to Coscarog. And then with 2 strikes to Jimmy Wasdale. Donald was trying to work on him. He had the advantage. 1 ball, 2 strikes was the count. He pitched him on the outside, and Wasdale, who was up there swinging at anything he could get his bat on, doubled into the left field corner. He's on his second now, the potential tying run. Reese swings and beats it in front of the plate and foul. That's strike 2. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That ball hit down in front of the plate for a split second. It was a question which way it would kick, whether it would remain fair or kick back out foul. And that was Reese thrashing around to try and get squared away for his run to first. And that was Dickey trying to get past the bat and get at the ball. And kick back foul, and that's all there was to it. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And so the battle is a raging torrent all over again. Reese leaning in. He's a slender figure. Despite his days in the sun all summer, he does not tan at all, but remains very fair. Swings at the bounding ball down to short. Rizzuto is up with it. The throw to first is in time and reaches out by a step. That's all for the last half of the 4th inning. Reese bouncing out the opposing shortstop to the first baseman. And it is 2 runs on a pinch hit double following a pair of walks. At the end of 4 innings, it is 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. And it is 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. And now Johnny Allen is coming out of the bullpen to the mound, and Hugh Casey is in the bullpen limbering up. Casey has a phrase which he's made rather famous in recent weeks. Ask him how he is, and he said, well, Casey's ready. When I saw him today under the stand, I didn't ask him how he was. I just simply said, hello, Hugh, and he shook his head, and he said, well, yesterday Casey wasn't ready, was he? However, Casey is limbering in the bullpen now. And Wasdell, as a reward for hitting that double, is going out to left field, and Medrick is coming out of the ball game. So Jimmy Wasdell is going to left field, and Joe Medrick comes out. And Wasdell, a left-hand batter, who just pinch hit a double to put the Dodgers back in the running, is now the left fielder. And Joe Medrick comes out. Now, if you've got your scorecards in front of you, Johnny Allen, the relief pitcher, goes into the batting list to hit 6th as he goes in Medrick's slot. So Allen pitching to Rolfe, the third baseman, first batter in the 5th inning, will be hitting 6th in the Brooklyn batting order. So you can really get a batting order upside down when pinch hitters bat for pitches and catches and stay in the ball game and then go to other places. Friends, your quarters of dollars invested in United States defense stamps and bonds will do a lot to protect the American way of living. And we are very happy to be here this afternoon giving you a part of one of the peaks of the American way of living. Here in the ballpark in the World Series. And the Gillette Safety Razor Company is very happy to be bringing you this major sporting event. There's another one in their cavalcade of sports broadcasts. Johnny Allen has been announced. So, it is 3-2 in favor of the Yankees. And Johnny Allen takes the mound. This is the 3rd relief job that he's being called on. He pitched 2 innings in the first game, an inning yesterday, and hasn't been scored upon. Hasn't given up a hit. 3 innings. However, he walked a couple and hit 1 in the first game. Allen pitching, a former Yankee. This is another thing we mean by so much humanness in this series. Here's Allen, who was traded away from the Yankees to the Indians. Then from the Indians was sent to St. Louis. And then was out of the league on waivers, and the Dodgers got him in the middle of the summer. And here he is now in the World Series. In a key spot. Mickey Owen is catching. Red Rolfe was 2 for 2. Left-hand batter. Takes a sharp sidearm pitch in for a called strike. Rolfe looked as though he might have been bunting. First man up now in the 5th inning. 3-2, favor the Yankees. Allen comes down and hits the ground in front of the plate, trying to snap off a curve, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The infield remains Camilli at first, Koshkarot at second. Reese is at short, and third base is Lou Riggs today. So the Brooklyn club is quite changed right now from what it has been. In the outfield, Jimmy Wasdell is out there in left field, taking Medrick's place. Risa in center. Dixie Walker is in right. It's entire left-hand hitting outfield for Brooklyn. Allen throws, Rolfe swings and grounds it foul across the first base line. And the coach down there, Earl Combs, comes over and picks it up. Looks at it and then throws it down to the umpire, who has already given another ball to catcher Owen, who's busy rubbing it up and going out to the mound. One and two. left-hand bat, and Riggs has gone back deep now that 2 strikes are on Rolfe. The big percentage of his bunting is passed. Red swings, and there's a high fly ball to the short right. Here's Walker coming in, looking right into the sun, and stays with it for the out. And that sun is tough. That is the factor today from the weatherman's standpoint. 1 up and 1 gone, top of the 5th. Stepping in, Tommy Henry, who's 0 for 2. Fly ball to left in the first inning, and then hit a tremendous drive in the third. That's the one that Dixie Walker went back against the concrete and took away from him. Took it away from center fielder Ariza in the ballgame. Outfield around toward right. Allen throws a low inside curve. Ball 1. Hugh Casey remains throwing down the Brooklyn bullpen. Pitch is low inside. Ball 2. Henry getting away from it. Mickey Owen turns around. Has something to say to plate umpire Larry Getz. The chances are he's not asking him what time it is. A 2-0. 1 out. Yankees at bat, top of the 5th. Johnny Allen relieving. Throws. And Henrik is hit on the right arm. He cannot get out of the way of an inside pitch, and Allen has now hit a batter for the second time here in the World Series. The batter that Allen hit when he relieved in the 7th inning of the first game was Johnny Sturm. So now Henrik is at first base. Hit by a pitch. Stepping in is Joe DiMaggio, who's 0 for 1 this afternoon. And DiMaggio, so far in the World Series, has 2 hits for a dozen at-bats. He had a walk in the first inning and hit into a forced play in the third. Outfield deep around toward left. Allen in position, throws. His curve is sharp but low outside. Ball 1. 1-0. 1 out. Henrik, who can move, leading down off first. Smithy holding against him. Those two almost had a rhubarb. 4th inning yesterday. There's a fastball low for ball 2. 2-0. Maggio standing there very quietly. Now backs out. It's a powerfully framed fellow. Tall, rangy. Doesn't move around at all up there in batter's box. Simply sets those feet far apart and very firmly. And gets that wood up there above his right ear. The pitch is a curve for a called strike over the outside corner. 2-1. The match doesn't move his feet at all. Leans in. 3-2. Favor the Yankees. First half of the 5th inning. Runner at first and 1 out. Allen takes his time. Eyes ready. Throws. DiMaggio swings at a line drive into left. Wasdell is in front of it and has it for the out. And back to first base returns Henry. Wasdell throwing into second. The second baseman Coscarard. DiMaggio really teed off on it, but it was a line drive hit straight to Wasdell, who just had to come in 1 step and take it. So it is now 2 out in the top of the 5th. And here is Charlie Keller, who has not been stopped. Keller, who had a single in the first inning with 2 out, and that drove in the Yankees' first run. And then he began that 2-run 4th inning with a tremendous double. Bashed high off the wall in right center field. For Keller, who has 5 hits for 12 at-bats. Digs in. He's strong enough to plow all day with one hand. Tommy Henry. Leading down off first. Johnny Allen. Throws low outside for ball 1. Allen pitching primarily side on. It is his habit. Riggs is deep in a couple of steps out from third. Reese is short. He's a step over towards second base. Cosgrove is at the edge of the right field line, right field grass. There's a pitch low inside for ball 2 and halfway over to first, the second baseman position. Schmilly holding first. Outfield shaded toward right. The most noticeable movement by any outfielder is by left fielder Wasdell, who's over in left center. Reeser is just shaded toward right center, and Walker's pretty well spread away right. So that's the way they're playing Keller. 2-0 pitch is an outside curve that does not come in enough for ball 3. And Keller is now sitting high and wide. 3-0. He can afford to take a couple of pitches no matter where they are. So he can take a toe hold and look for what he wants. If he doesn't get it, take it. 3-0. Allen delivers over just above the knees for a called strike. It's 3-1. Well, let's see if Henrik's going down, if there's a run and hit on. Score is 3-2. They were the American League champions. Casey, all this time, continues to throw relentlessly down in the Brooklyn bullpen. Allen watches first, delivers. Keller swings at a bounding ball that Coscott comes up with. So it goes through and out into right field. And there's Henrik around second, going to third, and makes it standing up in the throw-in. Is cut off at second by shortstop Reese. Coscott running along a step back on the right field grass. Got his glove on Keller's wicked smash. And just as Reese comes up with, the ball tore through his glove and went all the way back into the full depth of right field. And the official scores ruled that it was hit so savagely that even though the second baseman got his glove on it, that one was not supposed to have been fielded, and it is scored as a base hit. That is 3 for 3 for Keller. Yankees are now at first and third. 2 men are out. Bill Dickey is the batter. That is hit number 1 off Allen, hit number 7 for the Yankees. Hit number 11 in the ball game. Dickey was out second to first in the first inning, then drew a walk in the fourth. Always dangerous. The Yankees one time ahead an inning ago by 3 runs, and now just a run to the good, 3-2. And they're, of course, trying to build their lead back up again. And there's Allen standing in front, trying to thwart him. Slip it on the outside to Dickey for ball 1. Former teammates running headlong into each other. There's a former Yankee battery. Allen and Dickey. It's Allen pitching for Brooklyn, Dickey batting for the Yankees. He takes the pitch low and inside, ball 2. I often wonder how much it means for a catcher who has caught a pitcher a great many times, that due to the shifting of scenes in baseball, when a catcher is finally, in this case, up there hitting against the pitcher that he used to call the shots for. I wonder if there's any edge there at all. The 2-0 pitch is a call strike. Curve just above the knees. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 out. Allen moving a little ground out there. Henrik off third. Keller off first. Both had to go on anything. There's a pitch high and outside for ball 3. Allen trying to work carefully. It fits the spot so Dickey is now seriously behind 3-1. Casey continues throwing in Brooklyn's bullpen. Dickey leans down. Touches the rubber of home plate for the heavy end of that war club. Now sets in his batting crouch. The pitch is a curve low and inside for ball 4. And Allen at least was taking no chance of it. Dickey curved him 3-1. And here's DeRocha. Here's DeRocha coming out of the Brooklyn dugout. Now the Yankees have 3 men on for the second time in 2 innings. DeRocha going out to the mound. Keller's moved down to second base. Henrik, of course, holds the third. And there's a walk given up by Johnny Allen. So a hit batter, a single and a walk. 3 men are on. And Leo's out at the mound. So while he's having that discussion with Johnny Allen on this Gillette broadcast, we pause very quickly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
This is WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.
And Johnny Allen is to come out and Hugh Casey is to come in. And here is Casey coming out of the bullpen. Coming out to the mound, the top of the 5th inning, with 3 men on.
Attention, please.
Joe Gordon to be the batter. 2 men out. And the announcement that Casey is to come on and relieve is received with mingled emotions by the thousands here in the stands. In the 8th inning yesterday, there was a play at first in which Casey did not get over to first base in time to cover. You said before today's ball game that the reason he didn't get to first base was he started to break off the mound when the ball was hit to the right side, but he did not see Coscrod coming along the edge of the right field grass. And when he saw the ball go past Camilli, he stopped because he thought the ball was through and into right field. And he said he was very surprised and very, of course, upset when he saw Coscrod come up with it. Though he tried to get over, he couldn't make it. So Johnny Allen is taken out. The bases are loaded. 2 men gone. And there's Casey now, slipping down. Casey comes in the 6th slot in the batting order in case you're scoring and putting them down. And this is going to be a box score, which for the writers who make out the composite boxes, this is going to be rather tough to figure out tonight. It's going to keep them busy. So Casey getting ready to pitch to second baseman Joe Gordon. 5th inning. Casey is the 4th Brooklyn pitcher in less than 2 innings. And Noah Kimball and Luke Hamlin, 2 right-handers, leave the Brooklyn dugout and go down to the bullpen. Before the start of the game, Casey, French, and Allen were set down to be the bullpen squad. They've been completely exhausted. In other words, there are no pitchers left in the bullpen, but Kimball and Hamlin are going down from the Dodger dugout to the bullpen now. Fill up that gap. So here it is. Gordon stepping in now. He has 1 for 2. So far, he has 5 hits for 8 at-bats in the series, 8 official at-bats. There are 3 men on. Henrik at third, Keller at second, and Dickey at first. 2 men out. Casey pitches. Gordon takes a fast call strike. Nothing in 1. No balls, 1 strike. Infield is deep and around toward third. The outfield deep and sharply around toward left. Gordon takes a curve low and outside for ball 1. It's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 Yankee runners ready to get going. Any excuse. 2 men out. They'll be running first and looking later. Casey sets. Henry comes down a long lead but holds up. There's a high foul back into the stands behind the Yankees dugout. 1-2. And Fletcher went in and talked to Henrik just before Casey made this last pitch to Gordon, and Henrik promptly took a long running lead down. Apparently the Yankees know all about what happened at Pittsburgh when Vince DiMaggio ran down on third base and Casey balked and they waved in the runner. However, Casey's motion was very smooth. All right, through and delivered. Now he shakes off Owen. Shakes him off again. 1-2. Few throws. Gordon swings and beats it down foul. It's still 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The defense is drawn drastically around toward left, both on the infield and in the outfield. It is 3-2, favor the Yankees. And this pitch fair to be a very long ball game, the way it's been going. And of course, this game was not started until 2 o'clock, as there's a New York Sunday law about starting baseball games before 2. You can't do it. That's why the time on today's game was different from the time that has been the other days. Tomorrow, the game will be back again at 1:30, and we'll be on the air with a Gillette broadcast for you at 1:15. Casey pitches. Gordon swings. There's a high fly ball into deep left. Wasdell is back. He's waiting for it now. Takes it for the out. So ends the potentially big 5th inning with 3 Yankees left on. Gordon, a high fly ball to deep left field. No runs in the top of the 5th inning. 1 hit, and Casey puts out the fire. And to show you how things are in baseball, in the 8th inning yesterday, Casey couldn't have been elected to very much around this neighborhood, but right now he's the man of the moment. Just pitching to 1 batter and getting out of that jam in the top of the 5th. And so it's 3 runs. 7 hits, no errors for the Yankees. And it is 2 runs and 4 hits and no errors for the Dodgers. And with all these pitches coming in, you may still wonder who is the Brooklyn pitcher who is still liable for the Yankee lead. Well, the Brooklyn pitcher who is still responsible as the score stands is starting pitcher Higbee. None of the relief pitchers are affected. And, of course, French and Allen never can be. If Casey continues, he can only be affected if the Dodgers tie or go ahead while he's still actively pitching. And Donald back at the mound, who started and still going. However, I see that Branch and Brewer are beginning to throw him back over in the bullpen before he ever pitches to a hitter in the last of the 5th. Well, this is Red Barber, who's enjoyed very much in behalf of Gillette, bringing you the first half of today's stirring and epoch-making World Series 4th ball game. And with a great deal of pleasure, turning you over now to Bob Elson, WGN Chicago. Bob, you're the next pitcher.
Thank you very much, Red. Nice going. Fans, as you already know, this is some ball game from what Red's told you. This ball game is cut practically out of the patterns of the other games as far as runs are concerned because it's still anybody's ball game. And so the 4th game of the World Series is moving into the last half of the fifth inning with Donald on the mound and Dixie Walker, the right fielder of the Dodgers, the first man up. Here's the pitch, and it's a ball. He stepped away from an inside curveball, and it's ball one. Yankees talk it up out there in the infield. Rolfe at third, Rizzuto at short, Gordon at second, Sturm at first, Keller left field, DiMaggio center field, and Henrik right field playing straight away. Walker, a left-hand hitter. Here's the next pitch from Donald. It's a fastball, an overarm fastball right across his waist, and it's a call strike. Walker's been up twice so far today. Bounced out the first time, and the second time he flied out to Keller. He has one hit so far in the series. Count on him, 1-1. Here comes the next pitch. It's a swing and a fly ball down the left field line. It may be fair, it may be foul. It's a fair ball. The left fielder caught that ball on the bounce, and Walker goes into second base, standing up with the tying run. It was a two-base hit down the left field line by Dixie Walker, his second hit of the series. And incidentally, the fifth Brooklyn hit. There's the tying run on second base for the Dodgers now in the last half of the fifth inning. Bill Dickey steps out in front of the plate, walks out there slowly to say something to Donald, and again there's a lot of activity in the Yankee bullpen, which is down here to our left, but way down the left field line, with Branch and Brewer still warming up, both right-handers. Now here's Reeser. He's been up twice. He's had one hit. The first pitch he hits a high fly ball into right field. Right fielder Henry goes back against the scoreboard. It's going to hit. It's a home run right on top of the fence and over. It's a home run, and the Dodgers lead 4-3. By the way, that scoreboard and fence sits out a few feet from a screen, which is behind that fence. Ball hit over that scoreboard, if it doesn't come back out, is a home run. So Reeser just hit a home run. He not only put the Brooklyn Dodgers in the lead in this fourth game of the World Series, but he is putting Donald out of the ball game. And here is Atlee Donald going out, and a new pitcher coming in from the Yankee bullpen in left field. Here's Brewer coming in. Boy, was that a wallop. So the score now is 4-3 in favor of the Brooklyn Dodgers. And here is a tall right-hander coming in to pitch for the Yankees. Let's take a look at what he's done this year. This fellow Brewer, coming in now, took part in 26 ball games. He pitched 141 innings. He allowed 130 hits. He gave 50 bases on balls, and he had 73 strikeouts. He pitched 7 complete games. He had 1 shutout, and his record for the year, 9 victories and 7 defeats. 9 victories and 7 defeats. Marvin Brewer is called Adonis by the writers. He's what used to be called a Colorado type. The curveball tossing right-hander was born at Rolla, Missouri on April 29, 1914, and first became prominent as a hurler at the Missouri School of Mines, from which he took a degree as a civil engineer. Brewer returned to his engineering after the baseball season. He worked in the Yankee chain for some years and at last demonstrated outstanding abilities with the Kansas City team. This brought him to the Bombers in 1940. He won 8 and lost 9. The right-hander with a baffling curveball, a nice change of pace, and pretty good speed, as you can see by his record of 73 strikeouts. He knows how to whip that last one through there. Well, while the picture has changed in that the score has changed, and the Dodgers are in the lead for the first time today, it's still one of those kind of ball games. 3-2, 3-2, 2-1, 4-3. And in no case in the ball game, in any one of the 4 games, has the other team been out of striking distance. Well, Brewer's had his warm-up pitches. He's out there now with his right foot on the pitching mound. He's facing Camelli, who's had 1 hit today and 2 tries. And the first pitch to Camelli is a fastball inside at the waist. It's too close, and Dolph watches it sail by. You know, Reeser, I was talking to Reeser down in the batting cage before the game, and he said, Bob, you know, in these first few games I haven't been getting many hits. In fact, he only had 1. There's a fly ball into right field. It's right at Henrik, and he caught it for the first out. Camilli flied to Henrik. It was hit right at him in right field. Reeser said, I think I've been standing with my feet a little bit too far apart. Today I'm going to shorten that stride a little bit and try to pull that ball. Well, he just pulled that ball over the scoreboard in right center field for a home run to put the Dodgers in the lead. Now the next man to come up is Riggs, who's playing at third base today in place of Lavagetto. He's had one hit in the series, and that was in a pinch hitting role. He's been up twice today without a hit. The first pitch to Riggs is a fastball that's right in there for a called strike. Umpire gets to the National League, who's back at the plate today, shoots that right fist up into the air. There's one out. There's 2 runs in. It's the last half of the 5th inning, and Brooklyn leads. Here's the pitch. It's a slow curve. He pulled the string on that one, slowed up on it, but the pitch was a little bit too close at the knees to Lou, and he watched it sail by. The Yankee outfield playing this hitter straight away and not too deep. Brewer's ready again. Here's the next pitch, and there's a swing at a slow curveball, and he missed it, and it's ball 1 and strike 2 on Riggs. Ball 1 and strike 2 on Riggs. Brewer's ready out there again. Here's the next pitch. He swings, and he goes all the way around and struck him out. Lou Riggs went all the way around, and he struck him out. That's the 4th strikeout today. 1 for Higbee, 2 for Donald, and now 1 for Brewer. 4 strikeouts in the ball game. Here's Casey coming up, getting a hand. Casey steps around to the left side of the plate. You know, Casey is a pretty good hitter. The first pitch is a ball that's low outside. Casey batting up there in this particular spot because of the switch before. Wasdale batting for the pitcher and then going into Medwig's spot in left field. Casey batting with 2 out. That's right-handed. There's a strike. It caught the outside corner knee high, and it's 1-1. There's 2 gone. It's the last half of the 5th inning. It's the 4th game of the World Series at Brooklyn. It's a perfect day. A mammoth crowd. The place is jammed to the Raptors, and the score 4-3. There's a low curveball that broke outside to a right-hand hitter, and it is ball 2 and strike 1 for Casey. Big U Casey up in there. He allowed 4 hits in succession yesterday, came in today, and called a near riot. There's a short fly ball to center field. It's dropping for a hit. Casey dumped a Texas leaguer out over second base in the center field. It is a hit. All right, a hit for Casey. That makes 3 hits this inning, and it gives the Dodgers a total of 7 hits against 3, 6, 7 hits for the Yankees. And so both teams are even in the matter of hits. That leaves Casey on first base and brings up Owen. There's 2 out. The pitcher, Casey, dumped a base hit into center field. Now here's Mickey Owen up. Owen's been up twice today, and he walked twice. The first pitch to him is a ball, low and outside. Talk about hits. Fans are sure going for that World Series special Gillette Tech Razor. Get yours today at your neighborhood dealers. Boy, is this a ball game. Casey on first base, Mickey Owen batting. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a bouncing foul. The ball bounced up and hit him. It rolled off to the left of the plate. Umpire Getz, who's back at the plate today, is going over to pick it up. And the Yankee bat boy comes out and flips it to him. In this last half of the 5th inning, the Brooklyn Dodgers have gone into the lead. Walker doubled. Reeser hit one over the scoreboard for a home run. Camilli went out. Riggs was out. Casey singled to center, and now Owen is batting. Here comes the next pitch. It's a foul. It's coming back up here into the screen. It's a foul strike, and it's 1-2. Well, we've sure had a lot of excitement. Boy, in those first 4.5 innings that Red told you about, there was plenty of excitement here, and it looks like there's plenty more to come. Both these teams just battling as they have from the very first pitch in the first game. Here comes the next pitch, and Owen falls away from a slow curveball that was right close to his head. Backed up like he was going to sit down in the chair. The ball went by him, and the count is 2-2. Umpire gets out the whisk broom now and gives the old plate the 1-2. Yankee outfield is straight away. DiMaggio standing in dead center field with his arms folded. Charlie Keller over there in left field, and Tommy Henrik in right field. The infield practically engulfed in the shadows of the stands. Here is a foul that's coming back here near the stands. Here's Bill Dickey coming back under our mutual booth, but he can't reach it. Bill Dickey came back here under our mutual broadcasting booth, which is, by the way, ideally situated just back of the home plate and not too high. But he couldn't make the play on the ball, and he's going back to the plate now. He's just picking up his cap and mask. Mickey Owen, number 10 on the back of his white uniform, is standing off to the left of the plate. The Dodgers, of course, are the home team here at Ebbets Field, wearing the white uniform, and the Yankees, the traditional traveling gray. Casey on first base, Owen batting. Here comes the next pitch. It's a ball. It's in too close, and he stepped away. Between every pitch, Owen steps out of the batter's box and gets some dirt on his hands. Charlie Gresson coaching at third to our left. Leo Durocher over there at first base to our right. Yankee infielders talk it up, and now Brewer has gone back of the mound, leans over, picks up the rosin bag, takes his glove off, fidgets around with the bag for a while, drops it. Now he roughs up the ball. It's a 3-2 count on Owen with 2 out of the man on first and 2 runs in. Here's the pitch. He swings a fly ball to dead center. DiMaggio moving about 5 feet. He's right under it. Takes it to retire the side. And so in that last half of the 5th inning, there was a double by Walker, a home run by Reeser. Camelli flied out. Briggs struck out. Casey singled to center. And Owen flied to center field to retire the side. 2 runs and 3 hits. And that is the end of the 5th inning.
Now from baseball to bids for just a second. How about giving your face a break? Try the new Gillette Tech Razor with today's Gillette Blue Blade. Man, there's the easiest shaving combination known. See for yourself. Ask your dealer for the 1941 World Series Gillette Tech Razor, complete with 5 blue blades for only 49 cents. And so we've had 5 stirring and hectic innings. The 6th is at hand. And Ariza went out to center field. The center field bleacher right stood up and gave him an ovation. And now, Bob, here's the 6th inning.
Yes, the 6th inning is about to get underway here at Ebbets Field. Pitcher and the catcher for the Dodgers have not come out as yet. Here's the announcement.
B-O-Y-L-A-N-D of New Brunswick, New Jersey, is asked to report to Lieutenant Harvey in the rear of the 101. It is very important.
Somebody wants to see somebody, and it is one of the few pages that we've had so far in the series, which, incidentally, is a good thing.
Thank you.
In World Series, as well as in all other ball games, they try to avoid those personal pages just as much as possible because it does nothing but distract the fans. Ebbets Field today is jammed. I say that the attendance is pretty close to yesterday, if not a couple of hundred more. Red, how does it look to you as far as attendance is concerned?
Bob, I believe that we'll have maybe 500 more today than we had yesterday. Of course, 33,100 yesterday was just about capacity. But it seems that they're just a little bit thicker today, if anything.
Well, we're going into the first half of the 6th inning, fans, in this World Series ball game. And here is the Yankee shortstop, Rizzuto, coming up for the 3rd time today. He was up in the 2nd, he flied out. And he was up in the 4th inning and hit into a force play, bouncing down to the 3rd baseman. Scooter has had 1 hit so far in the series and has played a bang-up game at short. Now you, Casey, a powerful right-hander out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. It's a curveball breaking away from a right-hand hitter that just caught the corner. Umpire gets back at the plate, went almost down to his knees to take a good look at that pitch as it broke in to be sure that it was high enough, and shoots up that right fist. It's a strike. Art Fletcher coaching at 3rd. Earl Combs over at 1st. It's the Yankee half of the 6th. Score 4-3 the Dodgers. Here's the next pitch. It's outside. A curveball breaking away, waist high, and it's 1-1. Ball 1 and strike 1. Casey was a relief pitcher par excellence for the Dodgers this year. He's out there. There's a foul just behind first base. First baseman Camelli is down the line just about 50 feet and takes that one for the first out. And so Rizzuto fouled out to Camelli. About 50 feet behind first and about 10 feet foul, and there's 1 gone. Now the next batter is the pitcher. Here's Marvin Brewer stepping up. Marvin Brewer stepping into the batter's box. He bats right-handed. Wasdell in left field, Reeser in center field, Walker in right field. They move in about 10 feet with the pitcher up, and they're playing the hitter straight away. Casey is starting his windup. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball into short right field. Right fielder Walker's under the ball and takes it for the second out. So Brewer flied out to Walker for the second out in the first half of the sixth. It was an easy play. Walker moved in about 10 feet. He was right in line with the ball and takes it easily for the second out. Now we're back to the top of the batting order, and here's the Yankee first baseman Johnny Sturm. A new boy with the Yankees this year, and this kid has done right well all season long and takes right up where he leaves off in the season in the World Series. He had 3 hits up until today. He came up in the 4th inning with the bases loaded and cracked a hit into left center field to drive in 2 runs. So Sturm has had 1 hit today, 4 hits in the series. He's batting with 2 out and nobody on in the 6th. The pitch, he slams a low fly ball to right field. It's a hit for Sturm. So that's another hit. Gives him 5 hits for the series. He got this one. They hit into right field with 2 out in the first half of the 6th. That puts him on first base and brings up Red Rolfe, who has 6 hits in the series. He and Charlie Keller lead the Yankees with 6 hits apiece. Gordon has 5 hits. And on first base and 2 out, Rolfe batting. The Yankees trail by a run. Here's the pitch. It's a strike. It's right across his knees. 1 strike, it's called. Red Rolfe up in there. Red's been up 3 times today. Singled to left the first time. He singled the second time. And the third time, he flied to right. So in 3 times up, he's had 2 hits. Casey throws to first. The runner's back in plenty of time. Just lobbed that ball over to Camelli just to keep the base runner worried. Not let him take too many liberties. Casey said, here's the pitch, and there is a pop-up in the infield. The second baseman, Coskerard, is calling for the ball. He's right under it. He's out, and it retires the side. And so in that first half of the 6th inning, Rizzuto was out. The pitcher flied to Walker. Sturm singled, and Rolfe popped up. No runs and 1 hit. And that is the first half of the 6th.
Pete Reza, who hit the home run that Bob told you about in the last half of the 5th inning, that so far has been the last turning point in this ball game, certainly has improved this season. He started out as a rookie center fielder and wound up winning the batting championship of the league, and of course his last ever hit a very damaging blow. I'm talking about improvement. If you haven't tried a Gillette Blue Blade lately, there's a real treat in store for you. Today, this blade is keener, more uniform, longer lasting, and far easier shaving even than 6 months ago. And here's why. Gillette research is constant. Improved manufacturing and inspection methods are adopted just as soon as perfected. Advanced tempering processes make the Gillette Blue Blade hard enough to cut glass. Precision machines produce the sharpest, smoothest edges ever put on steel. Now's the time to try this blade because you get a regular 25-cent tube of Gillette shaving cream, lather or brushless, free with the purchase of 10 Gillette Blue Blades at 49 cents. See your dealer. Lay in a supply. All right, Bob.
Well, we're going into the last half of the 6th inning of this ball game. The score is still 4-3 in favor of Brooklyn. First man to bat is the second baseman, Pete Coskerard. Coskerard is in there in place of Billy Herman, who just couldn't come up to this ball game today. And Coskerard attempts to bunt the first pitch as Rolfe dashes in, and he fouled the ball on the ground off to the left. Nobody on and nobody out. It's the last half of the 6th inning of the 4th game of the series. It's running right through to pattern. National League champions are ahead, and the score is 4-3. Petey Reeser's home run wallop in the 5th inning put them out ahead. Walker was on second at the end. Now Brewer has the sign. Here's the next pitch. It's a ball that just missed the corner, knee high. Slow curve ball that time to Coskerard. Number 3 in the back of his white uniform. Here he is right down here below our booth. Next pitch is a fastball. He attempts to bunt that one, gets it on the handle of the bat, and it rolls foul to the right of the plate. Ball 1 and strike 2 on Coskerard. A new ball is tossed down to Rolfe. Rolfe roughs it up in his hands a few minutes and then tosses it back to Brewer, who is the second pitcher for the Yankees today. Brewer takes a look around the infield to see that everybody's in place. Brewer has his sign. Here's the next pitch. Coskerard backs away from the curveball. It's close. And it's 2-2. That was a curveball breaking away from a right-hand hitter, but it didn't break away soon enough. It came in close, waist high, and it's 2-2. Last half of the 6th inning. Here's the next pitch. He swings a bouncing ball down to Rolfe. He's up with it. There goes the peg. He's out. Rolfe to Sturm, and there's one gone. The Yankees peg it around. Rolfe to Rizzuto, to Gordon, to Sturm, back over to Rolfe at third base, and then back to the pitcher. Now here's Wasdell. Wasdell came through, batting for French. In the fourth inning, came through with a long double down the left field line that drove in 2 runs. First pitch, he bounces back to Brewer. Brewer knocks the ball down. It rolls to his right. He picks it up and throws him out on the fast play. Brewer to Sturm. That was a bouncing ball right back at Brewer. He couldn't hold it the first time. It rolled a few feet to his right toward third. Raced after the ball, picked it up, and threw him out. Now here's the leadoff man, Harold Pee Wee Reese. Little Colonel steps up for the 4th time today. He's been up 3 times without a hit. He's had 4 hits so far in the series. The pitch is a bit outside for a ball. This is the last half of the 6th inning. The Dodgers batting 2 out. Dodgers lead 4-3. Brewer, the second Yankee pitcher today, gets ready. Here's the next one. There's a foul, which is off here to our left. It's going into the stands. The third baseman, Rolfe, and the catcher, Dickey, chased that ball. But it's up into about the 12th or 15th row of the spectators down here, and somebody has a World Series souvenir. The most practical souvenir, by the way, will be one of those swell Gillette Tech razors. Brewer goes back to the mound, gets a hold of the rosin bag, takes plenty of time. I wouldn't say that these pitchers have stalled at all in the series, but there's been considerable deliberation, as Red has already told you. Boys take plenty of time out there between pitches. They not only throw it, they think it out first. He's getting all ready. Here's the pitch, and there is a swing and a miss. He went for a slow curveball right around his knees, and it's ball 1 and strike 2 for Reese. As he swung, he kicked the dirt over the plate, and again, umpire gets out the whisk broom and cleans it off. Gets back at the plate. Grieve at third, Pinelli at second, McGowan at first. The umpires have all done a swell job in the series. Here's the next one. He slowed up on that one again, but it was a little bit too close, and it's 2-2 for Reese. Yankees so far have 3 runs, 3, 6, 7, 8 hits. The Dodgers 4 runs, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. Here comes the next pitch. He hits a pop fly ball just back at the right side of the infield, back in the grass. Gordon's out there, takes it easily, and it retires the side. And so it's 3 up and 3 down. That is the end of the 6th inning in this 4th game of the World Series at Brooklyn. The Dodgers 4, the Yankees 3. And now we'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
You are listening to WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.
Well, fans, here we are back here at Ebbets Field. We're going into the first half of the 7th inning, and the Yankee fans are standing up. Naturally, their home team is coming to bat in what they hope will be their lucky 7th. And the Brooklyn fans are howling at the Yankee fans to sit down. They'll get the same dose when they stand up in the last half of the 7th. These fans in this series are very definite in their loyalties, but there's been good sportsmanship on all sides. Every Yankee fan I talked to over in New York last night was talking with regret about the accident to Freddie Fitzsimmons, who really pitched a masterful game. Fitz, by the way, is in uniform out here today. All right, now we're going into the first half of the 7th inning. Casey is out there on the mound getting in his practice throws. He's the 4th pitcher that the Dodgers have used today, starting with Higbee, then French, then Allen, and then Casey. And the first man to bat for the Yankees in their half of the 7th is going to be Tommy Henrich, the right fielder, who flied out the first time, flied out the second time, and the third time Allen hit him with a pitch ball. Henrich has had 2 hits in the series. Dodgers leading 4-3 as we start the first half of the 7th. The outfield playing Henrich deep and straight away. Now Casey's all ready. Here's the first pitch to Tommy, and it's a slow curve that just missed the corner, waist high for a ball. Ball 1. Wasdell is playing left field in place of Medwick. Casey starts his windup out there again. Here comes the next pitch. It's a ball outside, and it's ball 2. Earl Combs, coaching at first base for the Yankees, shoots both of his arms up into the air. Fletcher, coaching at third, pacing up and down. Now he's stopped. The Dodger catcher, Mickey Owen, walks halfway out to the pitcher's mound, says something to Casey, and then flips him the ball. Now he's turned around, and he's coming right in below us here, back of the plate. Henrich up. Nobody on and nobody out in the first half of the seventh. It's anybody's ball game. The Dodgers lead 4-3. Casey's all ready. Here's the next pitch. It's a ball. It's low inside. Henrich stepped up on that one and jiggled around a bit to try to make the pitch look bad, but he didn't fool the umpire, even though the pitch was low inside. It's ball 3. Casey starts his windup again. Here's the next pitch. It's a spike. It just cut the heart of the plate, and it's 3-1. Casey's only concern that time was to get that pitch in there. He knew that Henrich would take it. Just got that ball right in over the heart of the plate. Dodger infielders talk it up. Casey starting his windup again. Here's the next pitch, and there is a high fly ball in the infield. The second baseman, Koskarad, is calling for the ball right in the base paths and takes it for the first out. So Henrich popped out to Koskarad to start the first half of the seventh. It was an easy play. That brings up the center fielder, Joe DiMaggio. DiMaggio having 2 hits so far in the series, walked the first time, bounced out the second time, and flied to left field the third time. And so here is Joe DiMaggio up for the 4th time today with 1 out and nobody on in the 7th. Yankees scored a run in the first, 2 runs in the 4th. The Dodgers scored 2 runs in the 4th and went ahead with 2 runs in the 5th. DiMaggio takes a look at the first pitch, and it was a beauty right down the middle. That was a honey that time, right down the middle. Casey out there on the mound, very deliberate, taking plenty of time, thinking a lot with every pitch. He's getting all set again. Here's the next pitch to Joe, and it's low inside for a ball. The ball got away from Mickey Owen. It just trickled out of his glove, rolls back at the plate. So the plate umpire puts in a new ball. Owen roughs it up, takes his glove off, walks out there in front of the plate, and flips it back to Casey. The second baseman, Koskarad, is playing DiMaggio out of position. In other words, not playing in the normal second base spot. He's playing almost behind the bag. The left fielder, Wasdell, and the center fielder, Reeser, are way back near the left field fence. Here's the pitch. It's in close and high. DiMaggio turned his head away first and then swung his body away from the ball. Ball 2 and strike 1. Yankee half of the 7th at Brooklyn, 4th game of the World Series. Dodgers lead 4-3. The next pitch, he swung and missed. Went all the way around that time. A sharp curveball right above his knees, and it's ball 2 and strike 2 on the batter. That was a real DiMaggio swing, and the crowd liked it. Hear that yell in your radio. Casey's ready again. Here's the pitch. He hits a bouncing ball down the third base line. It's close to the line. It's a fair ball. No play on him. It's a fair ball. And it's a base hit for DiMaggio. The ball rolled down the third base line. It was just over the bag when Riggs picked it up. Riggs thought it was going to be foul. The third base umpire and the home plate umpire both signaled immediately fair ball. So there's no question about it, even though DeRocher is talking to the umpire. That's a hit. It's a base hit. Well, now DeRocher is going down to talk to the third base umpire, Bill Grieve. No fur flies when ball players and umpires disagree. There's no argument about this. New World Series Gillette Tech is the sweetest shaving razor you ever used. Lou Riggs talking to the umpire. Manager DeRocher is talking to the third base umpire, Bill Grieve. And the home plate umpire, Getz, has walked down the third base line, past third base, and is talking to Grieve also. It looked from here, from our broadcasting booth, as though Riggs thought that that ball was going to go foul. DiMaggio topped it, rolled it down the line. Riggs figured, I believe, that the ball was going to go foul, and it was the only chance they had, because he was playing back and figured that he didn't have a play on the ball, even if he raced in and tried to pick it up. So there's a man on first base, and here is so far, the first real dispute we've had in the series, although it's nothing of a violent nature. After all, you know, these managers are fighting for a world's title, and they're entitled to get up there and talk to the umpires, and there's no disagreement in that. Umpire Getz stands there and listens to what DeRocher has to say. Anyway, there's a man on first base for the Yankees that represents the tying run here in the first half of the 7th. And Charlie Keller, who has peeled off successive hits in the 1st, the 4th, and the fifth, is coming up for his fourth time at bat. He has 6 hits in the series. 6 hits in the series, and is tied with Rolfe for the most hits by the Yankees. Well, after this bit of delay, the boys are going back to their positions. It's a base hit for DiMaggio. He's on first base, and Keller is coming up. That's 9 hits for the Yankees against 7 hits for the Dodgers. 9 hits and 7 hits. Now Charlie Keller, number 9, in the back of his gray uniform, a very dangerous hitter up there. He's waving that bat around, a man on first base. Here's the pitch, and it's wide a ball. I believe that one of the notable comebacks of this year of 41, as far as the Yankees were concerned, although Charlie didn't fall off so badly in 40, was the great work that Keller did for the Yankees in 1941. Here's the next pitch. He swings, and there is a high, short fly ball into right field. The second baseman is out to make the play. It's very high, but it's short into right field, and Cascarard grabs it for the second out. Charlie Keller hit a very high fly ball, but short into right field. The right fielder Walker came in, but Cascarard raced back hurriedly, calling for the ball, and took it for the second out. So now there's 2 gone. The second baseman has made both the putouts here in the first half of the 7th. And I believe that everyone will agree where Casey didn't seem to have much on that ball yesterday. He has plenty on that apple today. Here's Dickey. Bounced out the first time, walked the second time, walked the third time, has 2 hits in the series. A left-handed hitter. Here's the first pitch to Bill, and it's a ball, just missed the corner, waist high. The man on first base and 2 out. The second baseman, Cascarard, is playing Dickey right between first and second. He's at the halfway point, and he's playing him deep. He's way back on the grass. Man on first base, 2 out. Here's the next pitch. Dickey swings, and there's a line foul into the grandstand past third, and it's 1-1. Ball 1 and strike 1 for Dickey. Catcher Mickey Owen gets the new baseball, walks out in front of the plate. He still has the ball in his hands. He's roughing it up. He has his glove tucked under his right arm, and now he flips the ball to Casey. See, the Dodger outfield is playing this hitter, Bill Dickey, straight away. And that's just about the way you have to play Bill. He's very dangerous, hitting to all fields. Yankees have a man on first. He represents the tying run. The Dodgers lead 4-3 in the first half of the 7th. Ball 1, strike 1 on Dickey. Casey getting his sign again. Here's the pitch. There's a bouncing ball to Casey. Should be an easy out. Peg, he's out. Casey to Snelling, and it retires the side. Yes, sir, Mr. Casey is tough today. No runs and 1 hit. We'd like to remind you that every hungry child, every neglected boy or girl, every young person with defective health, every broken family is a weak spot in America's defense. Your local community fund helps to build strong Americans. Support it generously. Well, we're going into the last half of the 7th inning of this 4th game of the World Series at Brooklyn. Now the Dodger fans are standing. Yankees are out there in the field, pegging that ball around. Norm Brewer, the second Yankee pitcher today, is getting in his practice throws. Here's Walker coming out. And here's the usual traffic announcement that they make here through the public address system, telling everybody to take their time going out of the ballpark and then to drive carefully and safely. Marv Brewer, a tall right-hander out there, getting in his practice throws. The Dodgers lead 4-3 as the ball game goes into the last half of the 7th. The Yankees 3 runs, 9 hits. The Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits. Here's Walker coming up. And Walker started the rally in the 5th inning that resulted in 2 runs. He doubled, and then Reeser hit a home run over the scoreboard to put the Dodgers in the lead. And so we have the Dodger Power Boys up here again in the last half of the 7th. Walker, Reeser, Comelli. First pitch is a strike. It's right across his knees. It's called. Nobody on. It's anybody's ball game. The Dodgers lead 4-3. Marv Brewer gets the sign again. Here's the next pitch, and there's a swing and a slashing hit into left field. A line drive. Walker comes through with a slashing hit over the left side of the infield for the Dodgers' 8th hit. His second hit of the day and his 3rd hit of the series. Just a nice liner right over the left side of the infield. That puts him on first base. It brings up Reeser, the center fielder who homered last time. And there is an attempted bunt. He foul-tipped that ball. It dropped to the left of the plate, and it's one strike. And so the Dodgers, leading by a run in the 7th inning, are going to play it safe and play for another run. At least that's the setup now. And the Yankees anticipate a sacrifice. Dodgers are going to play for another run. They're leading by a run. They want to try to move that man down to a scoring position. Here's the pitch. He crossed him up for the ground ball down to Gordon. Gordon over to Rizzuto, out, back over to first. He is out, a double play. There was a lightning-like twin killing. The play going from Gordon to Rizzuto to Sturm, and it's 2 gone. For a double play in shaving comfort, slip a Gillette Blue Blade in the new Gillette Tech razor. Man, what shaves you get. Well, part of the offensive strategy of baseball is to cross up the defensive strategy. And that's what the Dodgers tried to do that time. With Reeser bunting the first pitch, hitting on the second pitch, and hitting into a very fast double play, second to short to first. Now here's Camelli. There's a ground ball through the box. It is a base hit right through the center field on the ground. Camelli's second hit of the day, and the 9th hit for the Dodgers. 9 hits apiece. So you see, if a sacrifice had worked, it might have given the Dodgers another run, because it would have put that man on second base if it worked, and then Camelli comes through with a base hit. Well, it went the other way, and the batter hit into a double play. Now Camelli's on first base with 2 out, and here's the third baseman, Lou Riggs, been up 3 times without a hit. The first pitch broke sharply into a left-hand hitter at low, and it's ball 1. Last half of the 7th, the Dodgers batting. The score 4-3 in their favor in the 4th game of the World Series. Yankees scored a run in the 1st, 2 runs in the 4th. The Dodgers scored 2 runs in the 4th and 2 runs in the 5th. Yankees have used 2 pitchers, and the Dodgers have used 4. We've seen 6 pitchers in all. Brewer has the sign. Here's the next one. It's low and fast. It's very low into the dirt. And it's ball 2. 2-0 now for Riggs. Runner on first base, and 2 gone. Brewer takes his time out there, gets all ready, looks around the infield. The outfield is playing this hitter straight away. Here comes the next pitch to Riggs, and Riggs swung at a low curveball and fouled it. The ball rolls on the ground, back to the wire. The umpire gives Phil Dickey a new ball. Red Rolfe comes in from third base, walks in on the grass, says something to Brewer. The outfield playing straight away. I believe Red explained that expression we use so frequently to you in these World Series ball games and in all ball games. The center fielder is right out in line with second base, right out over second. The pitch is inside and high. Riggs' body getting away from that pitch, swung halfway around, but there was no swing on the ball, and the umpire calls it ball 3. So it's 3-1 on Lou. The pitch was right under his chin. And on first base and 2 out here in the last half of the 7th. Dodgers ahead 4-3. Here's the next pitch to Riggs. It's a ball inside close, ball 4. He walked in. So that's another base on balls. It puts a man on first, a man on second. Next man to come up, coming out now, is the pitcher Casey, and the bat boy is just handing him his bat. Here's Casey walking out. As we told you, the reason that Casey is batting in this position in the batting order is because Wasdell batted for the pitcher and then went into left field in place of Medwick. And so Casey bats in Medwick's spot, and Wasdell bats in the pitcher's spot. There's a man on first, a man on second, and Casey, who dumped the single in center field the last time up, is up. There's 2 out. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike. It caught the outside corner. 1 strike. That's the 4th walk that the Dodgers have received today. 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 7th. Here comes the next pitch. There's a swing at a high curveball. He missed it, and it's strike 2. Here's Artie Fletcher, Joe McCarthy's right-hand man, down here in front of the Yankee dugout, which is down here to our left, waving out there to the bullpen. Well, the Yankees are now starting to warm up 2 pitchers. Murphy has now started to warm up. Now he's warming up another pitcher out there. Here's the next pitch, and Casey was going to swing, but he stopped. The ball broke away from a right-hand hitter. It's wide, and it's ball one and strike two. The two pitchers warming up are Branch, a right-hander, and Murphy, a right-hander. There's no activity in the Brooklyn bullpen, which is down the right field line. Dodgers. Runners on first and second and two out. The pitch is a strike. It's perfect. He struck him out. Called out on strikes. Brewer fired that fastball right down the middle, and it retires the side. And so in that last half of the seventh inning, there were no runs and two hits. The hits were by Walker and Camelli, and that is the end of the seventh inning.
Okay, Bob, let me pitch for just a jiffy. Tough-bearded Charlie Keller, Yankee outfielder, says, for quick, comfortable shaves, it's Gillette Tech for me. Yes, man, just load that razor with a Gillette Blue Blade. And there isn't a beard on earth that won't holler uncle. Fans, ask your dealer for the World Series special Gillette Tech razor with 5 of those famous blue blades. A great buy for only 49 cents. And it's a great game, isn't it, Bob?
Yes, Red, this is certainly another wonderful ball game in this great World Series. As I said a number of times before, Red and I have worked many a World Series together, but boy, this is absolutely tops and thrills. These teams are well matched. There's been all kinds of excitement. And every ball game has gone right down to the last man to decide the winner. 3-2, 3-2, and 2-1. Now we're going into the first half of the eighth inning with Brooklyn leading 4-3. You know, this boy Casey is called the last of Robbie's boys. Well, when Casey was a young pitcher with the Atlanta Club, Wilbert Robinson, former Dodger pilot, and then an official on the Atlanta Club, took you in hand and helped him settle a salary dispute. His control and good curveball, plus his liking for tough going, make him an ideal relief man, and he's doing a swell job out there today. Now the first man to bat is Gordon. Gordon takes the first pitch. It's low inside for a ball. Gordon's had 5 hits so far in the series, 4 up until today, and 1 today. He's also drawn 6 bases on balls. Gordon up in there, a right-handed hitter. It's the start of the eighth inning. The Dodgers leading 4-3. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. Casey fired in a fastball right around his knees, and Gordon went all the way around trying to kill that ball and miss. Dodger outfield is playing him way around to the left. Wasdell in left field and Reeser way over in left center. Here's the pitch. It's a ball. It's low inside. Makes it ball 1 and strike 2 on Gordon. Gordon steps out of the batter's box. He's talking to the umpire. Checking that count. Ball 1 and strike 2 on Gordon. Nobody on, nobody out. First half of the eighth. Pitcher's all set. Here it comes. And there's a pop fly ball into short right field. Walker's got a long way to come, but he's getting there. And he caught that ball in short right field for the first out. Gordon shifted his feet and tried to hit that ball to right field. Walker was playing him way over in right center, and that's why he tried to hit it into right field, preferably close to that line. But Walker raced over and grabbed that ball on the run, and there's one gone. Now the next batter for the Yankees is Rizzuto. Been up 3 times today. Flied out, bounced out, and popped out. He's up for the 4th time with 1 out and nobody on in the Yankee half of the eighth. Score, the Dodgers 4, the Yankees 3. Reeser hit a home run in the 5th inning with a man on board to put the Dodgers in the lead. Now the pitch to Rizzuto. It's a ball, too low to Scooter. Ball 1. Riggs at third, Reese at short, Kosker out at second, Camelli first, Wasdell left field, Reeser center field, Walker right field. Pitcher's getting all ready out there again. Here's the next pitch, and there's a foul back into the wire. It begins to look like we're going to get a pinch hitter. Georgie Selkirk, utility outfielder, who's made 1 appearance in the series as a pinch hitter and hit safely. Looks like he is coming in. He's just selecting a bat here at the Yankee bat rack right below us. It's the 8th inning with the Yankees trailing by a run. 1 out, and Rizzuto batting. The count on him 1-1. Casey taking plenty of time out there, working very carefully, starting his wind-up again. Here's the next pitch, and there's a bunt right out in front of the plate. The pitcher's going to make the play. There it goes. He's out. A nice play. Casey to Camelli, and Camelli made a beautiful backhand, glove hand stab of Casey's low throw. Baby, was that a honey of a play. Dolph Camelli, the last that bag, just stuck that gloved hand down into the dirt backhand and grabbed Casey's rapid throw. So there's 2 gone, and here is Selkirk. You'll hear the announcement now through the public address system as he comes up to bat for the pitcher. We're waiting for the announcement. We'll let you hear it through our mutual microphones here back of home plate. Selkirk. Here's the announcement now. Georgie Selkirk, utility outfielder for the Yankees, is batting for Brewer. This is his 2nd appearance in this World Series. He batted in the 9th inning of the 2nd game and singled. And now he's up in there batting for Brewer with 2 out and nobody on in the first half of the 8th. Here's the pitch. It's a slow curve. It just missed the corner, waist high for a ball. Looks like the Yankee pitcher is going to be Murphy. Branch was warming up. He's gone back to sit down, and Murphy is still throwing him down in that left field bullpen. Casey's all set out there again. Here's the next pitch to Selkirk. This fellow's dangerous. There's a pop-up over the pitcher's head. It bounces near second base. Shortstop up with it. The play. He's out in a great play. Oh, what a play. Reese came up with that time. It was a pop-up over the pitcher's head. It dropped out near second base. The shortstop Reese cut over fast. Up with that ball. An underhand, lightning-like throw, and he got him by an eyelash at first base. Reese to Camelli to retire the side. And so it is 3 up and 3 down. And that is the end of the first half of the 8th.
Yesterday, we suggested the Gillette combination offer as a great gift for the men in service. One telegram after another indicates that men and women by the thousands agree. Listen to this wire from Whittam and Tays drugstores, Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Quote, "We are handling mailing of Gillette Blue Blade shaving cream combinations and Gillette Tech razors to men in service. Many customers availing themselves of this opportunity, and both Gillette offers going like hotcakes." Unquote. Frank Hicks, Wapato, Wisconsin, wires, quote, "Am buying 1 Tech razor for each game of series, keeping first razor myself and sending the others to friends in the Army," unquote. And that's what's going on the country over. The Tech razor and today's improved Gillette Blue Blade have given millions of men shaving comfort and convenience they never experienced before. See for yourself. Your dealer now offers the World Series special Gillette Tech and 5 Gillette Blue Blades for only 49 cents. Get this combination and enjoy real shaving luxury. Back to Bob, and let's enjoy the continuation of this great battle.
Well, this is really some battle. We're going into the last half of the 8th inning of this ball game at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. Here's Murphy making his 2nd appearance in the series. A tall right-hander. Joe McCarthy's main relief. Pitcher is in there for the 2nd time in the series, and he's just come in now to pitch as we go into the last half of the 8th. Owen is going to be the first man to face him. The Dodgers lead 4-3, and they're coming to bat now in this last half of the 8th. 4th game of the series, 4-3 favor of Brooklyn in the last half of the 8th. Boy, fans, that play that Reese came up with to retire the side and to end that first half of the 8th would really knock your hat off. I never thought he'd get him over there at first base. He had to race over on the second base side of the bag, come up with that ball, and make a quick underhand throw to Camelli. He did it and got him. Gee, it was really a beautiful play. Well, here's Owen up, a right-handed batter. The first pitch he bunts to the left of the pitcher. Second baseman coming in fast to play. He's out. Fast play that time by Gordon. Gordon to Stern. Looked like Gordon was anticipating that play. I think he was playing in a few feet. He raced in, picked that ball up, and threw Owen out on a very fast play. And so it is 1 gone. That's 4 times up today, 2 times up officially for Owen because he walked the first time, walked the second time, flied out the 3rd time, and then bounced out the 4th time. Now here's Coscarard. Been up 3 times without a hit. Twice officially, he walked once. Last time up, he bounced out to Rolfe. Strike the first one. It's right across his waist. The Dodgers lead 4-3 in the last half of the 8th. 4th game of the World Series. If they win this one, they even it up. Here's the next pitch. It's a spike, a slow curve. Murphy slowed up on that one. He pulled the string, and the ball was right in there over the outside corner, waist high. Coscarard in a little bit of a crouch down here right below us. Number 3 on the back of his white uniform. Pitcher's all ready. Watch it. Here it is. He swung and foul-tipped it. The catcher had the ball, juggled it, and then dropped it, and so Coscarard gets a swing on the house. Had Dickey held that, he would have been out on strikes. So that certainly proves the old axiom that it happens to the best of them, because you're looking at one of the best of them right down there back of the plate in Bill Dickey. Boy, he's a ball player every pound. Pitcher's getting all set. Here's the next one. Owen steps away from an inside curve across the letters, and it's ball one and strike two in the batter. Mickey Owen up. He's batting with one out for the Dodgers in the last half of the eighth. Or rather, Koskarek batting. Here's the next pitch. It's a strike. He struck him out. Talking about catchers there, Koskarek took a curveball right across his waist. He struck him out. That was a beautiful curveball that Murphy broke out right over the heart of the plate to strike him out. Now here's Wasdell. Wasdell came through with that telling hit in the middle of the ball game, a double after 2 walks. It drove in 2 runs and put the Dodgers back in the game. That's left-handed. He's up in there with 2 out, and here's the first pitch from Murphy. It's a curve, and it's outside, waist high for a ball. Ball one. So there's 2 gone here in the last half of the eighth. Owen bounced out. Koskarek struck out, and Wasdell is batting. Here's the next pitch. It's a little bit outside, waist high for a ball. Ball 2. Dodgers out in front, 4-3. It's a close ball game. It's anybody's ball game. Now Murphy leans down on that right foot. Tall right-hander. Here's the pitch, and there is a swing, and here's a foul. It's out of play. It's going up above our mutual broadcasting booth, and then drops out again right down here below us onto the playing field. Umpire gets out the whisk broom and cleans off the plate. Murphy fidgets around with his cap out there on the mound, getting set. Wasdell in there, right below us, batting left-handed. A count on him, ball 2 and strike 1. Murphy's winding up again. Here's the next pitch, and Wasdell swings and slams a long foul way down the right field line. It's ball 2 and strike 2 for Wasdell. Wasdell was a very valuable cog in this Dodger machine this year. He was in there quite a few times, and when he wasn't in there, he was used many times by manager DeRocher in pinch-hitting roles. He's a dangerous batsman, left-handed. Used to be in the American League with Washington. Now the wind-up, here's the next pitch. He swings, and here's a foul. It's out of play up into the stands to our right, and it's still 2-2 in the batter. The Yankees have had 3 runs and 9 hits. The Dodgers have had 4 runs and 9 hits. 9 hits apiece. Dodgers leading 4-3. Murphy's all ready. Here's the next pitch to Wasdell. Wasdell hits a high fly ball into right field. Henrik is right under the ball and takes it easily to retire the side. So it is 3 up and 3 down in the Brooklyn half of the 8th inning. Bounce out, a strikeout, and a fly ball hit deep to right field, taken by Henrik. So it's 3 up and 3 down to retire the side. And so we'll pause briefly now at the end of 8 innings for station identification. You're listening to the Gillette broadcast of the 1941 World Series, the 4th game. At the end of 8 innings, the score 4-3 in favor of Brooklyn. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
This is WGN, a Clear Channel station, the voice of the people, Chicago.
Well, here we are back here at Ebbets Field, fans. The Yankees all set to come up now for their 9th inning stand. Remember in that second game, they sent up a pinch hitter, Selkirk. The Dodgers got out of trouble. Now we're in the 4th game. The score 4-3. The first game, the final score 3-2. The second game 3-2. The third game 2-1. And now the 4th game, which if the Dodgers hold this lead, will even the series up at 2 games apiece, is 4-3 favor of Brooklyn as we go into the 9th inning. Now let's see who the hitters are. To start the 9th inning, we'll get Sturm, Rolfe, and Henrik. Sturm has had 2 hits so far today. He singled in the 4th. He singled in the 6th. Dodgers have a right-hander in the bullpen, Kurt Davis, who was the starting pitcher, you remember, in the first game. Nobody in the Yankee bullpen. So fans get set here for a tense 9th inning in this 4th World Series game. Brooklyn leading 4-3. Crowd sitting up straight in their seats right now because they figure anything might happen in this 9th inning. If the Dodgers win it, the World Series goes even up, 2 games apiece. 5th game up for decision here tomorrow. We'll be on the air tomorrow at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. Now here's Sturm up. He's facing Casey. Nobody on and nobody out in the first half of the ninth. He's had 2 hits today and 5 hits in the series. The first pitch was high inside, a ball to Johnny, and it's ball 1. Fell away from that pitch, and it's 1-0 for Sturm, a left-handed hitter. Playing in his first World Series, and the kid has looked plenty good. Here comes the next pitch. It's a strike. Sturm leaned halfway over the plate, jigged around to try to make that pitch look bad, but you don't fool these umpires with that. Nevertheless, it's strategy that both sides have tried a number of times, but it was a perfect strike right down the middle, and it's 1-1. Nobody on and nobody out. Sturm batting in the 9th inning. Here comes the next pitch. It's a ball, very low, and it's ball 2 and strike 1 for Sturm. The Dodger outfield is straight away. Wasdell in left field, Reeser in center field, Walker in right field. At third base, the third baseman Lou Riggs is playing a shallow third. He's moved in a few feet. Here's the next pitch, and Sturm takes a called strike right across his knees. That was right over the inside corner to Sturm. Sturm steps out of the batter's box. He's saying something to the umpire. He looks like he's more asking a question than saying something. Doesn't seem to be at all sore about it. Ball 2 and strike 2. Casey's ready again. Here comes the pitch. It's a ball low inside. Makes it ball 3 and strike 2. Puts it up to Casey now, where he's got to get it in there. Sturm is out of the batter's box. He's standing 5 or 6 feet away from the plate. Now he steps up in there again, taps his bat on that plate a couple of times. Casey has started his windup. The 3-2 pitches coming in. He swings and hits the ground ball down to Cascarard. He's up with it. There's the peg. He's out. Cascarard hits another. 1 gone in the 9th inning. 1 gone in the 9th inning, and the Dodgers pepper that ball around the infield. Here's the official attendance, 33,813. Fred made a pretty good guess. He said 500 more. He certainly knows how to count the house. Well, there's going to be a bit of a delay here as Mickey Owen goes out to talk to the pitcher. He's saying something, too, to the third baseman, Lou Riggs. And stepping up to the plate now is the Yankees' great third baseman, Red Rolfe. Red Rolfe. He's standing outside the batter's box. He's talking to the umpire because the catcher, Owen, is out around the mound. Here he comes back in. He's fidgeting around with his blue cap. He's carrying his mask and glove in his left hand. And now he slips the old bird cage over his face and steps back in there behind the plate. It's the Yankee half of the 9th inning. And unless they score, there won't be any Dodger half. Casey's getting all ready. Here's the next pitch to Rolfe. Rolfe swings, and here is a foul right up above our broadcasting booth. It goes into the wire and bounces back down onto the field. Each side has made 9 hits. The Dodgers have made 4 runs. The Yankees 3 runs. Reeser's home run smash in the 5th inning after Walker's double put the Dodgers in the lead. Owen steps out a bit in front of the plate, says something to Casey. Casey taking plenty of time. Now he stands there on the mound. He starts his windup, the big burly right-hander. Here comes the next pitch to Rolfe. Rolfe swings. There's a foul, but it's out of play. It's into the stands behind third, and it's 2 strikes on the batter. If the Dodgers win this ball game, Mr. Casey, who came in yesterday and surrendered 4 hits in a row and left the ball game in anything but a favorable light, will be the hero, at least one of the heroes today. Also the winning pitcher, getting all ready out there again. 2 strikes on Rolfe. Here's the pitch. There's another foul. Red, a slashing type of hitter who drives that ball into left field a lot, even though he's a left-hand hitter. Slapped that ball up into the upper deck behind third, and it's still 2 strikes for Rolfe. Catcher Owen walks out in front of the plate to talk to the pitcher again, and Rolfe takes a couple of free swipes at the air. Brooklyn leading 4-3. It's the 9th inning at Ebbets Field. 1 out for the Yankees, and Red Rolfe up. Count on him, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. It's a ball way outside, a foot outside, knee high, and it's ball 1 and strike 2 on the batter. Next man to come up after Rolfe will be Henrik. Casey stands there, takes a lot of time now. He's winding up again. Ball 1 and strike 2. Here's the pitch. He swings a bouncing ball to Casey. Takes it with his left hand. The peg. He's out. Casey to Finelli. That's 2 gone. 1 more now, and the ball game will be over. Mr. Casey gets by Henrik. The ball game will be over, and the Dodgers will have evened up the series at 2 games apiece. the 5th game of the World Series tomorrow in Gillette's broadcast. We'll be on the air tomorrow at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. The game started later today because of Sunday. But tomorrow, Gillette will bring you the number 5 game of the World Series. We'll be on the air at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. Well, here is Tommy Henrik up. There's 2 out. 2 out in the first half of the 9th inning. Henrik has been up 4 times. Flied out first time, flied out the second time, hit with a pitch ball the 3rd time, popped out the 4th time. Ball, it's high. Henrik has had 2 hits so far in the series. He's up in there, the first pitch wide. There's 2 out and nobody on. It's the 9th inning at Brooklyn. Pitcher's getting all set out there again. Watch it, here it is. It's a strike. It's right across his knees. Boy, that was a beauty. Casey threw in a half-speed pitch that time that was right in around his knees, and it's 1-1. Casey starts his windup out there again. Here's the next pitch to Henrik, and it's a strike. It's perfect right across his knees. It's called, and it's ball 1 and strike 2 on Henrik. Casey, the man of the hour, pitching for Brooklyn in the 9th. The changing fortunes of baseball. Here he is out there again. The next pitch, he swings and just tops the ball and rolls it foul on the ground to the left of the plate. And it's ball 1 and strike 2 in the batter. Higby, French, Allen, and Casey went to the firing line for Brooklyn. Donald, Brewer, and Murphy went to the firing line for the Yankees. We saw 7 pitchers in the ball game. 2 out here for the Yankees in the 9th inning. Here comes the next pitch. It's a ball wide, way outside. And it's ball 2 and strike 2 for Henrik. Dodger outfield, playing him straight away and plenty deep. Right fielder Walker is right out in front of that scoreboard. Ball 2, strike 2 for Henrik. Casey starting his windup again. Here comes the next pitch. It's a ball. It just missed the corner. Waist high, not by more than an inch. Maybe was that close. So again, we've come up to a 3-2 pitch. 2 out in the 9th inning. Casey gets by Henrik. It's all over. Pitcher starting his windup out there again. He's all ready now. Watch it. Here it comes. He swung, fouled the ball. He swung at the ball and missed it. The ball gets away from the catcher, and Henrik goes to first. And now let's see whether the umpire is going to decide he fouled it or whether it was a clean strike. The umpire says that Henrik swung. It was a clean strike. The ball got away from the catcher, and so Henrik is entitled to first because he got there ahead of the throw. You never can tell on a swing like that whether it's a foul or not until the umpire rules on it. He swung at that pitch. He missed it cleanly and is on first base. It's an error for the catcher. Owen is charged with an error. Man on first base and brings up DiMaggio. Here's the pitch. It's wide and low for a ball. Joe DiMaggio batting. Man on first base. Fortune still smiling here in this 9th inning on the Yankees. After the first 2 men came up and went down, Henrich gets to first base on a last strike, which Owen missed. Owen is charged with an error, and the batter Henrik is on first. DiMaggio's had a walk and a hit today. He's up in there now. Great center fielder. The first pitch was a ball. Here's the next one. He swings. There's a line drive hitting the left field. It looks like a single. Here's the throw into the infield. It is a single, and it puts runners on first and second. Joe DiMaggio came through with a line drive. 4th hit in the series into left field, and the Yankees have runners on first and second. Runners on first and second with 2 out. Well, the other old saying, you never can tell about a ball game until the last man is out, is being proven right here in the 9th inning at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. Because Casey got by the first 2 men without any trouble at all, Sturm and Rolfe. Then Henrik struck out, but Owen missed the last pitch. Henrik got to first base. Then DiMaggio came up with 2 out and singled to left. And here is Charlie Keller, who's had 3 hits today. The first pitch, Keller swings and misses that ball by 2 feet. Keller went all the way around to the clear ball over the inside corner, knee high. Keller has had 6 hits in the series and 3 today. He's plenty dangerous. That man on second base represents the tying run. There's 2 out here in the first half of the 9th. Casey getting all set out there again. Watch it. Here's the next pitch. He swings and misses a shot-breaking curve. Casey put everything he had on that ball, trying to get it by Keller, and Keller took a wicked lunge at that ball and missed. Boy, what a situation here in the 9th inning. Everybody worked up to lather pitch. Man on first, man on second. A left-hand hitter up at the plate. It's Keller. There's 2 out in the 9th inning. Here comes the pitch. He swings. There's a long fly ball. It's way back to the a run scoring. He caught the ball off the screen. Another man carrying for the plate, and he scores. And the Yankees go into the lead on a double by Keller off the right field swing. The Yankees go into the lead 5-4 on a two-base hit by Keller way up onto the right field swing. The score is 5-4. Listen to the noise. Well, there's all the drama you'd want in a World Series. Boy, what an inning. The first two men are out. Henrich gets to first base. After striking out, when Owen missed the third strike, DiMaggio singles to left. Keller hits one off the screen. The Yankees lead 5-4, and here is Dickey up. The first pitch is wide for a ball. Dickey batting. He's been up 4 times today, twice officially. He walked twice. He has not had a hit. The score is 5-4 in favor of the Yankees in the ninth inning. Casey getting all set again. Watch it. Here's the pitch. He swings. There's a foul. It's going into the stands. It's out of play, and it's 1-1 on the batter. Casey, who is pitching wonderful ball, doing a wonderful relief chore for the Dodgers, got by the first 2 men in the ninth inning, and it looked like the series was even Steven. And fortune smiled. Henrich got to first base. A strikeout. There's a foul up into the stands, and it's 2 strikes. Ball 1 and strike 2 for Dickey. DiMaggio lined a hit to left field, and Keller drove a long, high fly ball that went way up into the screen in right field, and Henrich scored. DiMaggio scored, and the Yankees lead 5-4. That's the picture here in the ninth inning at Ebbets Field. Casey getting his sign out there again. Dickey waving that bat around. Here's the pitch. It's a ball high, and it's 2-2. The Dodgers are warming up a right-hander, Kurt Davis, in the bullpen in right field. Nobody in the Yankee bullpen. 2 out in the ninth. Keller. The Yankee strongman came through with his 4th hit to give him 7 hits in the series. Casey's ready again. Here's the next pitch. It's a ball. It's low inside, and Dickey steps out of the batter's box. It's ball 3 and strike 2 for Bill Dickey. Next man due to come up will be the second baseman, Gordon. What an inning this has been. How the baseball fortunes change. Casey has his sign. Here's the next pitch to Dickey. Hits a ball high and outside. He walks, and it puts runners on first and second. A base on balls. That's the 3rd walk that Dickey has received today. It brings up Gordon, who's been up 4 times, has made 1 hit today to give him a total of 5 hits in the series. That's the 4th pass the Yankees have received. Here's the pitch. Gordon hits a foul. It's out of play. It's up into the stand, and it's 1 strike. Gordon swung at Casey's first offering, a slow curveball across his waist, and he hit it into the stands here to our left. Yankee runners on first and second, 2 out. All this has happened after 2 out. 2 runs are in. The Yankees are ahead 5-4. Casey stands there on the mound, draws his arms up in front of him, gets all ready again. Here's the pitch. There's a foul. It's right back into the screen here in front of our mutual broadcasting booth, and it's 2 strikes on Gordon. Charlie Keller is out on second base. Dickey is on first base. There's 2 out and 2 runs in. The Yankees are leading 5-4. Gordon stands down here below us. Here comes the next pitch. Gordon swings. There's a long fly ball back into left field. The left fielder Wasdale going back. And boots up, couldn't get the ball. It's over his head against the fence. A run is scoring. Here's Dickey rounding third. He is scoring, and it's a 2-base hit driving in 2 more runs. A 2-base hit by Gordon over Wasdale's head up against the fence in left field, driving in 2 more runs. And the score of the ball game now is 7-4 in favor of the Yankees. All this has happened after 2 outs. Talk about an explosive ninth. Gordon drove a long fly ball way over Wasdale's head up against the fence out there in left field. It's a 2-base hit driving in a couple more runs. It makes the score 7-4 in favor of the Yankees. And it gives Gordon his 2nd hit of the day and his 6th hit of the series, and brings up Rizzuto. Rizzuto, who's been blanked in 4 tries. Man on second base. 2 out, Rizzuto up. Here's the first pitch. It's a ball. Inside close, waist high for ball one. The Yankees lead 7-4. Casey's getting his sign again. Here's the next pitch. There's a strike. It's right across his knees, and it's 1-1. A called strike on Rizzuto. Casey draws his arms up in front of him, gets all ready. Here's the next pitch. There's a foul strike back into the screen, and it's ball one and strike two in the batter. 1-2. Scooter Rizzuto, the shortstop of the Yankees, is batting with a teammate on second base. The Yankees have scored 4 runs here in the first half of the ninth. Ball, it's wide. Ball two and strike two for Rizzuto. Well, that's the fortunes of baseball. Cannot be charged to anything else. 2 out in the ninth inning. Victory apparently within their grasp. And the Yankees bust through and score 4 runs. There's a ball that's in close. Waist high, and it's ball 3 and strike 2. And now Owen is signaling for an outside pitch. He steps outside the plate, and they're going to walk him purposely. Rizzuto gets a pass. Manager DeRocher signals from the dugout to put Scooter on first base with an intentional pass after trying to get him to bite at outside pitches, and he wouldn't go. And so the Yankees have runners on first and second, and here is the pitcher Murphy coming out to the plate. He bats right-handed. Man on first, the man on second. Here's Murphy batting right-handed up in there, and 2 out. There's a bouncing ball. Past the pitcher, the shortstop coming in fast. There's the peg. Deeps out. Reached to Camelli, and it retires the side. And so that is the end of the first half of the ninth inning, and what a wild ninth it was. There were 4 runs. There was 1, 2, 3 hits. There were 2 walks, and there was 1 error. 4 runs scored in the first half of the ninth inning by the Yankees to put them in the lead over the Dodgers by a score of 7-3. Let's recapitulate on the inning, shall we? Sturm was an easy out. Rolfe went out easily. Casey had a 3-2 count on Henrik. Henrik swung and apparently struck out. But the ball got away from the catcher, as baseballs will do occasionally, only this time it happened to be in a World Series game, but that can happen to anybody, Dickey or Owen or anybody else. The ball went all the way back to the screen, and Henrik got to first base, running on the third strike. So he was on first with 2 out. Then DiMaggio singled to left field. Then Charlie Keller drove a double off the right field screen to drive in 2 runs. Then Dickey walked. Then Gordon drove a double off the left field wall to drive in 2 more runs. Rizzuto was passed, and the pitcher made the last out, bouncing to Reed. And so that's the story of the first half of the ninth inning. There were 4 runs and 3 hits, and now we're going into the last half of the ninth inning with the Dodger fans here at Ebbets Field pulling for one of those famous Brooklyn late inning explosions, which would be the only thing that would save the Dodgers here today. You know, many times in their last jaunt through the West, these valiant fighting Dodgers were trailing in ball games in 8th to 9th innings. And they came up with those 4-run and 5-run innings. And so they can do it. It's not a lost cause until the last man is out. While the score is 7-4 against them, they still have a chance. Look there with 2 out and nobody on as though the Yankees were out of the ball game, and they bounced back into it. Well, let's see, maybe the Dodgers can do the same thing. 2 great fighting teams. All those runs in the ninth inning were unearned. First man to score the tying run. Got to first base on the strikeout and an error charged to the catcher. Right, the last half of the ninth inning. First man to come up for the Dodgers is Reese. He's made many a great play in the series. The first pitch is low and outside. He made a great play in the second game, throwing out DiMaggio, and he came up with one of the greatest plays today I have ever seen on a ball over the pitcher's head that bounced out around second base, slowing and throwing the batter out. First pitch was a ball. Here's the next pitch. He swings, and there's a foul outside of first base. Between the plate and first base, the catcher and the first baseman are both over there, and Dickey takes it for the first out. Either Dickey or Sturm could have caught that ball. It was between the plate and first base and about 30 or 35 feet to the right side of the line in foul territory. It was taken by Dickey for the first out. And so there's 1 gone now in the last half of the ninth. Here's Dixie Walker. Dixie's come through with 2 grand hits today and played a beautiful game in the field. His catch off the board in right center field in one of the early stages of the ball game was one of the greatest catches I've seen. There's a spike. It's right across his waist. That's kind of a slanting wall out there in right field. and Dixie really ran up against it to make a great catch. One out here for the Dodgers in the ninth. Murphy getting his sign again. He's all ready. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a bouncing ball to the shortstop. Rizzuto's up with it. There goes the peg. He's out. Rizzuto to Sturm, and there's two gone. The Yankees peg it around out there in the infield. And so here are the Dodgers in the very same spot that the Yankees were at in the first half of the inning, only they're 3 runs behind. Here's Petey Reeser, who's got a single and a home run today. He's up in there now with 2 out on the first pitch as a slide gets right across his waist. Reeser singled in the 3rd and hit a home run in the 5th. A long wallop over the scoreboard. Yankees leading 7-4 last half of the ninth. There's a slow ball. Murphy pulled his string and slowed up on that pitch. It was outside, shoulder high, and the ninth. Last half of the ninth. There's a slow ball. Murphy pulled his string and slowed up on that pitch. It was outside, shoulder high, and it's 1-1. Petey Reeser batting for the Dodgers with 2 out in the last half of the ninth inning. Murphy, a slender right-hander out there on the mound, is getting all set. Now he swings around. Here comes the pitch. It's a ball just a little bit close, above the knees, and just a little bit off the inside of the plate. Makes it ball 2 and strike 1 for Reeser. Charlie Gresson coaching over there at third. Leo DeRocher still out there in the coaching lines at first. Pitcher getting all set again. Here's the next one. There's a swing and a ground ball to the right of Sturm. He's up with the ball. The ball is in the air. The pitcher covering. He's out. The game is over. And the Yankees win. The play going from the first baseman Sturm to the pitcher. The first baseman getting the put out. The pitcher gets the put out, and the first baseman gets the assist. And it retires the side. 3 up and 3 down. And it ends the ball game. I want to check those totals for them. Red, have you got them here? Just to make sure that we get those totals today. Just check all our totals. Murphy will be the winning pitcher, by the way, and Casey the loser. Murphy the winning pitcher and Casey the loser. And the totals on the ball game are these. The Yankees, 7 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers, 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. Bill Corum will repeat those for you later, but I just want to be sure that we get them on. In just a moment, Bill Corum will give you his rapid-fire summary of today's game, and this is Bob Elton bowing out now after giving you the description of the last half of the ball game, and here is Red Barber.
Waiting for you right now in the store of a nearby Gillette dealer is a free tube of Gillette shaving cream. All you do is buy 10 famous Gillette Blue Blades at the regular price of 49 cents, and the shaving cream is tossed in. Gillette lather or brushless. Take your choice. So why not stock up now while this bargain supply lasts? And we're all waiting with a great deal of interest to see how Bill Corum has seen the turning of the tide. So, Bill, take it.
Well, Red, I saw the turning of the tide all right, and there is no joy in Flatbush tonight because Mighty Casey struck him out and then lost the ball game in one of the most weird finishes I've ever seen in any World Series. That way, Casey managed, after he was to be the hero and seemed destined to revise what happened yesterday, to lose 2 World Series games in successive days, which no other pitcher has ever done since the game began. And down below me as I talk to you, there's a red-headed, tow-headed kid down there crying his eyes out. And you can understand why, and you can understand why this Flatbush Symphony Orchestra is mournfully tooting, because the police actually were on the field, and DeRocher himself had to run out and call back the police as they rushed out to protect the diamond with the ball game apparently over. Owen, who has been one of the outstanding stars of the series, a game catcher, a great catcher, just let that ball slip through there. Casey had so much on it, and there went the ball game. But the Yankees, of course, had to have it, too, because even then it looked as if they might be through, but DiMaggio came through with that ringing single, and then after 2 strikes, Casey tried to come down the middle again on Keller, and you can't do that against that big, strong fella because he knocked it off the right field wall. The Yankees were in front, and from then on, it was just a question of how much they're going to win by, but because despite all the courage that the Dodgers have, you knew that that one ball that went past there was decisive, and perhaps McCarthy was right. It may be decisive in the series. I think previously the Dodgers had surprised the Yankees some the way they fought back. Wasdell, a great fella up there in the clutch, who's all right, had put them out there where they could come on, and it looked as if they were going to win 2 plays.
first by Camilli. I don't think another first baseman in the game could have done it. And another one right behind it by Reese and Camilli. Looked as if they had the Yankees stopped cold in their tracks. I feel that they thought so, too, when they came into bat. Certainly they must have with the first two out. And then Henrik apparently struck out for a perfect pitch, and there went the ball game. Well, we'll never see another one like that. It looks as if now, truly, the Yankees sort of have a hammerlock on it. If, of course, Casey could have gotten away and been the hero today as he was the GOAT yesterday, which in justice seemed only right, and the perfect game that he was pitching right up there to the finish, DeRocher could have pitched Kirk Davis tomorrow. Now I feel that he's going to have to come in there with Wyatt. It's his last chance. You've got to play your ace when you're in that spot. We all sort of had Higbee figured right, at least the experts. I was hopeful that Higbee, who won 22 games this year, would go through, but he couldn't do it. And we wound up with a couple of good Irishmen, Casey and Murphy, and a good ball game in spite of the way it ended for Brooklyn, because still a thriller and still a dogfight. And I suppose now McCarthy will undoubtedly give Lefty Gomez his chance, never defeated in the series, because he's got the Dodgers with their backs to the wall. And so tomorrow you can confidently look for Whitlow, Wyatt, and Lefty Gomez as the competing pitchers in what, the way the breaks are going, might possibly be the last game. But as I've said before, the Dodgers do fight back. And now I give you back to your friend and mine, Red Barber.
Thank you, Bill Corum. And tune in the same station tomorrow at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time, when Bob Elson, Bill Corum, and I will be here to bring you the fifth game of this bitterly fought series through the courtesy of the Gillette Safety Razor Company. And tomorrow night, Lou Jenkins, lightweight champion, meets Freddie Red Cochran, welterweight champion, in a 10-round thrill at Madison Square Garden, New York. As usual, Gillette brings you the blow-by-blow account over many of these stations. And once again, for the Yankees, 7 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. And for the Dodgers, 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. And the Yankees lead now 3 games to 1. This is Red Barber, for all of us up here, saying goodbye. And this is the Mutual Broadcasting System.